All right. Sorry about the cheesy music on that one. I think that'll be the last time I use that introduction. I'm like, yeah, I'm just running around a little bit. I started a little bit earlier, so I thought I'd throw in an intro. Just I like for people to kind of get situated, get set up. Also, again, I'm also testing. So with StreamYard, I can stream at multiple destinations, and that's what I'm using. So I'm actually streaming also to the Facebook, just kind of testing some stuff out, right? So kind of very much learning this whole vlogging life, very much learning life in the Philippines. So, all right, let's get started up. We got 7 o'clock in the morning, local time, January 10th, 77 degrees. Nice day. Nice day. Some good weather. We had a little bit of rain, but it's actually been really dry, for the rainy season and things like that. Things have been, kind of relatively dry, uneventful. No real announcements. Just got back from Iloilo. Still working through some footage on that. I probably have at least one other video on Iloilo. Really, really, really liked Iloilo. Loved it. Yeah, great little town. So, yes, let's get started. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Mayong buntag, magandang umaga, and to my new Ilonggo friends, mayong naga. Right? Right? So many different dialects. All right, Dustin, hello, Chris. I'm from Wisconsin, Schofield, Wisconsin. How are you doing in the Philippines? I'm doing great. Yeah, just over my 1 year. Really, really loving it here. Love it. Love it, love it. Having a good time. Still a lot to learn. Still a ton to learn about the area, surrounding area, the culture, and what to do. But that's great. I'm just kind of taking my time, slow rolling, you know, enjoying life, enjoying the new life. Hope all is good there, Dustin, for you in Wisconsin. You coming out soon? Yes. Good morning. How's it going? I know. Too funny, man. Yes. Good morning, Chris. Are you back from Iloilo? Yeah, I am. I got back the day before, Monday night. So it's yeah, Wednesday morning here. Loved it, man. Great little town. And I found out a little bit more about that parade. It's a festival that's coming up actually right after Sinulog here, and that was just kind of the practice. I excuse me. I want to try to make it back there for that parade if I can. There's just so much going on here with Sinulog. It's gonna be epic here the next month. Gonna be so much going on. There's a Cebu beauty contest. Miss Cebu is actually that's tonight. So there's that's going on. So really, actually, from here on out, the city just starts to swell with events and activities all around Sinulog. So I'm just really excited for Cebu City and what's going on here over the next month. So yeah, I'm back in town. Yes, mabuhay. It's Tuesday, Jan. Well, are you in Colorado, brother? That's crazy. Yeah, right? That's so funny, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is beautiful though. I do miss, if I didn't live in Colorado for the last 20 years, I think there would be a lot more for me to see. I've been all over the United States, right? California, South Dakota, Ohio, Kentucky, Florida, Colorado, kind of been all over upstate New York. So, but Colorado is just, man, it is beautiful. It's beautiful. And I lived the last, 20 years in Colorado. So, Chris might see you during the Sinulog Fest. Okay, cool. We'll be around your area. Mitch, yeah, let me know. It is going to be crazy. I don't know if this is your first Sinulog, but be ready, right? Like, you can't get around by car. You got to get around by motorcycle, just because the traffic is going to be like standstill. So just be ready, right? Have your cash and be ready too, Mitch, for like, kind of pickpocket kind of scenario. Just be mindful because of that many people. It'll be wild. I'm excited. Good morning, Chris from North Carolina. Yes, good morning, John. Man, when am I going to learn? When am I going to learn? Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, guys. I thought I had it on mute. I'm looking here and I didn't. My bad. My bad. So we'll roll back. Oh my gosh, 5 minutes into it. My bad. Yes, I'm back from Iloilo. Loved it. Sorry, guys. Ricky Vlogger. Yes, Mabuhay. I didn't realize, Jeff, that you were from Colorado. So, yeah, beautiful. Loved it there. As I was saying just a minute ago, if I didn't live the past 20 years in Colorado, I don't think I would have been here. I loved it there. Loved it. Absolutely incredible. Amazing. Amazing. But yeah, sorry guys. I'm rolling through all these comments that I was talking about. Yes, I will be here in the Sinulog Festival. And if just be careful because there's going to be a ton of traffic. Get around by scooter or motorbike if you can. Thanks for reaching out to me, Mike. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, just get around by motorbike, get around by scooter. The city is going to be absolutely mobbed. So just be mindful. I don't know if this is your first Sinulog. I'm really, really excited. There's going to be a ton going on in the city, which I kind of ran through already. But yeah, there's going to be Miss Cebu. That's going on. Actually, that's tonight. There's an event. Miss Cebu is going to be there performing. So, or they're going through the competition. So it really starts. I think a lot of things start tonight and then goes through for the next couple weeks. So really, really excited about that. I can't believe I went through like 6 minutes with no audio. My bad, guys. Yeah. Yes. Good morning, John from North Carolina. Yes, I was laughing. Yeah. Good morning. Looking forward to. All right, I think this is where I left off. Again, sorry guys, man, my bad. I need to check that first thing. I get rolling and then it happens. So, anyways, feedback on Iloilo. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Honestly, from just watching it, no really surprises other than the fact that it's a little more conservative, right? Than what I was that I think anyone's really talked about. And what I mean by that is, so here in Cebu is kind of a little bit on the edgy side, right? Big city, lots going on. Like when you walk around the malls here, you'll see like what we call like mall walkers or, whatever, professionals, right? If that makes sense. There in Iloilo, didn't see any of that, right? And also too, what I saw is how they were dressed. They're dressed a lot more conservatively, dresses and stuff like that. No visible tattoos of that kind of nature. And then also big families, right? So Iloilo kind of has like this Midwest vibe to it, right? Or like Salt Lake City kind of deal. Big families, really conservative kind of deal. But loved it. Really loved the vibe there in Iloilo. Really family friendly and not a lot of foreigners at all. Not a lot at all compared to really a lot of other places that I've been to. But very modern city, very clean. One of the things that I actually didn't explore at all is the Esplanade, the big walkway that's along the river there. I mean, I walked it a little bit, but I could see Iloilo being a city. If you're a cyclist and you like riding around like the city kind of cycling kind of deal with bike paths and that kind of thing, Iloilo would be a really good option, right? Really good option. My buddy is moving out there, and that's actually why I was out there. I was kind of helping him with kind of that deal. He wasn't moving yet. He was doing his second trip, so he and I kind of wandered around the city together and had a good time. Really cool. Went out to the island. What's it called? Guimaras, right next to Iloilo. Yeah, big fan of Iloilo, honestly, and I can see why a lot of people go. What I would think about it though is it would be more of a destination if you're the kind of guy who, like, maybe you've been here for a little bit, right? You've got your feet on the ground here, you kind of know the ins and outs of it, and then go to Iloilo, just simply because there's no other really foreigners there. There's no foreigner community. And I think that is a little bit important, especially as you first get here. So that would be the kind of guy. And also too, if you're not going to date a lot, like if dating a bunch of women or kind of that kind of deal isn't a priority for you, I think Iloilo would be a great city. Also, like I said too, if you're a cyclist, I think Iloilo would be a good option. I've got a bunch of notes and I'll run through I'll run through. I'm going to make a video on kind of my thoughts, Cebu City versus Iloilo and all that stuff. But yes, love it. Love that little town. Really, really, really do. You know, and you got Bacolod right across the way, and some of excuse me, some of my questions and concerns are around. Actually, you know what? I just realized I muted when I coughed, didn't I? And then unmuted. Okay. All right. So so yeah, that was you know, some of my concerns around power and stuff were about the island and then kind of what's around the surrounding island. But yeah, really, really dig it. Really dig the Iloilo. Staying in close proximity to IT Park Mall. Okay. All right. Nice. Nice. Good morning. Glad to see you're back. I booked my flights in Cebu, but I'm worried because some expats mentioned that some girls can be dishonest or over dramatic. It's like, who's buried in Grant's tomb? Oh, sorry. Yes. Oh, golly. Sorry. I still got a little bit of that cough from my cold. All right. Yeah. I mean, look, what does Old Dog say? I think I've heard him say is behind every foreigner who fails in the Philippines is a relationship, right? So yeah, you got to be careful. That's where we fail. We fail in that area. I get it, man. I get it. I can see it. I can really see it. You get brownouts in Cebu. So that's an interesting point, Can of Beans. And I'm glad you asked that because it's something that came up while I was there also. And so basically, because there were some brownouts there. There was like a couple days, I guess, of some brownouts. Now, I didn't experience them, and I don't experience them here. And the reason is because I'm in a condo that has generators. So a lot of your modern condos and things like that, you're not going to have a lot of the problems with the brownouts. Or actually, in a lot of ways, these are actually blackouts, right? They're not short power blips. They're actually full-on power outages, which by definition is a blackout, right? So yeah, I didn't, when we were in Iloilo, there was some stuff going on with the power, but it didn't impact me simply because of the places that I was staying in had generators. The mall was up full, you know, there was a blip where the power went out for about, 5 or 10 seconds, but it came back up. So yeah. But yeah, great question. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, I must have muted when I coughed and then forgot to unmute. Oh, man. Yeah, sorry, guys. Are there a lot of golf courses in the Philippines? Yeah, there are some. I do know some. I don't particularly golf, but I do know some golfers that are here. And there is a country club here in Cebu City. So yeah, there's some golfing here. Should have a fly now, right? My bad, guys. I don't know how long. For a minute there, I thought I was muted for like 6 minutes. I'm like, seriously? I got to repeat all that. And then I remembered I muted when I coughed there. My bad, guys. Sorry. I'm a rookie vlogger. I just wing it, You haven't noticed. I just we go to Iloilo. We have no idea what's going on. I just show up and start wandering around. And, we're sitting down there and just chilling. And these girls are talking about this parade. I was like, all right, where's it at? So, we just go. I don't, not that I have anything against planning stuff, but I just really just kind of just go, see what I can find. I love that, man. But yeah, sometimes it kind of gets me in trouble a little bit with doing silly stuff like unmuting and whatever, that type of behavior. But I don't know, man. This is retirement for me. I'm trying to chill as much as I can. Oh, so funny. I've been in Bacolod for 12 years and festivals. Yeah, the mascara. I so want to check out the mascara. Drive me mad. Yes. All right. Yeah, but drives you mad if you're living there. Sure. Traffic, road closure, etc. Like many things. Good idea. Which is overworked and too long. Yeah. Yeah. No, they get busy. Really super busy. Yeah. I'm muting my comment. Hey, Mitch, how's it going? Yeah, 78 in Cocoa Beach. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Jeff. Oh, I'm not Jeff. Huh. Are you family? Dude, it's hard I can't see the little icons, man. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, freaking bust me up. Been to the Philippines several times and saw and saw 3 Sinulog. You will enjoy it. Yeah, Tom. So I was here last year for Sinulog. Now, look, I was fresh off the boat, right? I had just got here. I think whatever, December 8th. So I was still in a lot of ways, you know, kind of my head in a cloud. I just moved here, just got my condo, I think late December. Hadn't even been in my condo a month in Slovenia. So and then this thing hits. And I'm like, what's going on? Talk about a month to move here in the Philippines, especially Cebu, January. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't recommend it for people to do that because it is just like, what did I move to? Because it's just epic. But yeah, I'm really excited now that I've been here a year. Excuse me, to see it full hand. Lane, good day from Florida. Oh, with the tornado warning. Yeah, no fun there, man. Yeah, stay safe. Football is good. Football is good. Your audio, yeah. I think what happened is there was I coughed and I muted myself and then I didn't unmute after I coughed. So my bad. Went from bad to worse. Did you see your buddy that was moving there? Did you see? Yeah. And there any video on that? We didn't. So basically, what he did is he went and he moved to another Airbnb. So he was in an Airbnb at a property that he was considering staying, and then moved to a different Airbnb, and then he actually signed a lease on the apartment and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I didn't shoot any video of the places he was in or like any kind of property, but yeah. So there's a lot. So it was just a quick trip too, right? Like I was there. I flew out Friday, and really spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and flew back Monday. So it wasn't a lot of time. And there's a couple things that I would still be like I have no idea on, and one of them is housing. I'll be honest with you, and the other one is the Esplanade. I don't know much about the housing like availability. I think it's similar to Cebu where he's like he's like I think it's around 25 to 35 for like a 1 bedroom. It seems to be the range, which is very similar to Cebu. But because the other thing that I think that's there that I've kind of heard a little bit is there might be a little bit of a shortage. Like it's hard to find, but he seemed to be able to get things pretty easily. I think it depends on your budget. I think if you're trying to get under 25,000 pesos, and I apologize, guys, I don't know. Let me see if I can convert that out. 1 second. Convert dollars and pesos. 25, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so let's like 450 US is 25,000. So I don't have a good sense on the housing there just because I didn't have a ton of time. He didn't seem to struggle though finding a place. So yeah. Himalaya ready for sale February in the Phil. All right. I need to swing by the motorways, see what's going on. I do. I need to go by there. Man, that bike looks amazing. Looks amazing. So that screen, grab brother, them sisters. Must be a story. Yes, this the screenshot. Yes. Yeah. So those girls, so talk about another rookie mistake that I make is really just capturing fun moments. That was one of them. And I mean by that, if I was a professional vlogger, what I would have done is had the camera rolling because that interaction. So that was the ferry ride home from Guimaras Island back to Iloilo. It's like a 10-15 minute ride. But those girls were just so adorable. They were just so sweet. The girl sitting next to me, she's a college girl at the local university. Sweet girl. And then she was with like 7 other girls. They were all just kind of chilling out at the island for the day. And they were just so giggly and it was just fun interaction with them. And they wanted to take that picture, so we took the picture, and it was just a great time. Sweet girls, but yeah, really, and that's kind of that picture. I think really showcases like the Iloilo women. I think in what I saw is just you can tell by their dress. They're very conservative. They're very kind of just not. Cebuanos can be a little bit on the edgy side, I feel, more tank tops, tattoos, and that kind of deal. And not all, but I'm just, kind of generalizing. But yeah, those girls were just so, they're really great, really friendly. It was fun. And that's kind of the other thing too, I think, about Iloilo that you get that you don't necessarily get here in Cebu City is because of the lack of foreigners that are out there. There's a little more of that shock when you're around there. So yeah, really, really, I enjoyed it. Yeah, that was fun. It was a good time. I wish I had the camera rolling because that would have been epic. I'll get there, man. I'm starting to recognize it. I'll have these moments where I'm like, oh, I should have had that rolling. So I'm getting there. The next step is to actually have it going. But yeah, good morning. Just wondering if you had any inquiry that forced you to retire. Thanks, Dan. Oh, an injury. Yeah. Well, it didn't force me to retire. I did have an injury. It didn't force me to retire, Dan, but it did wake me up to the fact that life is too short and I need to start living a life that I enjoy. It did. Yeah. So it didn't force me to retire, but it woke me up to the fact that how precious life is. And I'm tired of hating my life. And I want to come to a place where that screenshot, that picture that JC is talking about is why I moved to the Philippines, to have beautiful interactions with just friendly, welcoming people, right? How many times do we get that? And I get that here all the time. That type of playful interaction, sweet, innocent, just beautiful, right? Just amazing. But it wasn't something that forced me to retire. Physically, I'm fine. But yes, I was in a very serious motorcycle accident coming up actually on a couple years, next January 15th. And I was in a wheelchair for a while. And then I actually spent most of the year getting back where I was walking kind of normally. And yeah, it was rough, man. Rough go. But yeah. Good question, Dan. Benny, yes. Mayang buntag, ¿cómo está? Yeah, man. Good to see you. You're winging it. This was great. Will seem somewhat script material. Yeah, you know what, Mike? That's kind of too one of the things that I wanted to do on this channel. I really wanted to bring a natural, as natural as can be, right? I wanted to bring, because I really want to promote a happy, kind of good feeling about the Philippines and my life in general too. So I do kind of record and capture those types of moments. But yeah, man, I've always been kind of a guy that likes the more, hey, let's just go see what we can find kind of deal, right? And sometimes you don't always get the best experience because of that. But I don't know. I'm that's more my wiring. Yeah. All right. It's great. I've got a lot of family, and I've a cousin Jeff. So yeah. Good morning, Dustin. Yes, good morning. How is Joe? I don't know actually. I haven't heard from her at all. So the last live that I did, I was supposed to go over there and see her to the port, and she was already gone. So, and then I haven't heard from her since. So I really don't. I have no idea what's going on with her, Rich. Some friends have reached out to me and said, oh, my bad. Some friends have reached out and said that she's hopped on some lives and has been struggling, but I haven't seen anything and I haven't heard from her since she left. Oh, it's blurry now. I'm not seeing any warning like internet speed. So yeah, let me know. You know what? I think I'm just going to drop. I'm going to drop the Facebook. There's nobody's watching there. All right. All right. We'll see. Let me know if that helps at all, man. Actually, you know what? I'm going to end live there. End it. See if that helps at all. Because I was streaming to Facebook, but there's no one on there. So I'll see if that makes any difference. I'm in Davao City in September through October. Okay, nice. Yeah. Davao City was it was another place that I was really interested in checking it out. I didn't make it out there, but I haven't been there yet, but I plan on it. Looks great. Really clean too, modern city, big city, lots going on. But yeah, looks good. Hey bro, I'm 60. I have 150K in my and my 401k, my Social Security is not until 67, which is about 2,000 a month. Is that enough to retirement in the Cebu City now? So what you want to look at, right, is you want to look at, can that 150K get you to where you have access to other money, right? So if you look at, whatever, if you're spending 25 a year, that's 100,000 for 4 years. So you got 6 years. Yeah, maybe it's close. It's close. Or maybe can you take Social Security early? I guess you'd be less than 2,000, right? What you probably want to do is just hire like a financial advisor, and they can coach you through all that stuff, is what I would suggest on that. I would think you're pretty close, but you're close enough where you'd want to get, I think, professional coaching and professional advice on how exactly to put those assets where you're going to gain the most, right? That's what I would do. But yeah. And then they can coach you on all that. They can put you on like whatever, like you've got a year of cash, and then you've got maybe CDs or whatever that you can cash in the next year. And that way you're earning some money on that too. So yeah, but I would get some professional coaching around how to manage that money. And if you do that, I would, they're going to confirm it, but I would think you'd be just fine. Right? Yeah. Great. Good for you, brother. Yeah. Hope you make it out soon. Yeah. There's a story behind it. Now it's internet jams. I missed it. What's the story? Yeah. Don't worry about muting the audio when you cough. It's already used to the Philippines. Yes. Belching during the live streams. Yes. Right. Betty, good for you. So how safe is the Philippines? All right, great. Yeah, so a lot of it too just kind of depends on where you're at. I would say, Dustin, that Cebu City, I've never at one time felt like I was in any kind of danger at all. Now, what I will tell you is this: there have been times where I'm sensitive to my pockets. Like, I want to make sure that and it's the kids, the younger kids, they get their little tiny hands and fingers and they get in your pockets, right? But that is where you'd want to worry. That is where you can have some issues. But as far as safety and feeling threatened or anything like that, zero, man. Not once have I felt that. And there's been a couple. So the other thing about me is I don't drink alcohol anymore, so I don't go to bars and that kind of deal. I do think, Dustin, that guys that may have some problems, usually alcohol is involved, or some kind of bar. So that's where you can find trouble, just like anywhere in the world, right? You go into a bar and drink too much or whatever, you can find trouble. So I think that's very similar to here. But overall, I have not had one experience. Well, there was one time when I was in Southern Leyte and I was in the small town called Little Juan, and they had never really ever seen any foreigners there. So that was one time where it was uncomfortable. Now, it was completely safe, but I was getting so much attention that it made me feel uncomfortable. Like, oh crap, am I? And I reached out to ask Joe. Joe was with me, thankfully. And I said, Joe, are we good here? And she's like, yeah, they've never seen foreigners before. So you'll get stuff like that. But it's, so I would say it's incredibly safe, but like, you got to have your head on you and you got to be respectful. Probably sober would help too. Right. But yeah. And it just depends, Dustin, too, where you're at in the Philippines, right? You can't say that everywhere, but other guys too have said this, where they actually feel a little bit safer outside some of the bigger cities than they do inside. You'd probably want to avoid parts of Mindanao. What is that? The western part of Mindanao, but the eastern part, Davao City, CDO, a lot of those eastern parts of Mindanao are perfectly fine. So yeah, but the western part you probably want to avoid. Right. So there are some areas that you just want to look at. But all in all, here in Cebu City, here in the island of Cebu, the entire island, you're fine. The entire island of Luzon, you're fine. Entire island of most of them, you're fine. Negros, all of them. There's just certain areas that you'd probably want to watch out for. And also, too, certain areas in bigger cities. But I think, too, Dustin, if you're coming from a big city, like if you're from like a Chicago, Denver, New York, LA, whatever, you're going to have all the tools that you need to really to address any safety issues, I feel. Yeah. Great question though. Health. My injury is why I started looking in other countries. Yep. I was an iron worker by trade. Yep. Yeah. It woke me up. It really did. You know, after that accident, I'm like, I can't do this life anymore. I can't. I know what my future is. I just look at what I did yesterday. That's exactly how the rest of my life is going to be. And I was just, dude, I was done with it. Yeah. Sub to that Patreon. What's the best dentist in the Philippines? Well, I've been going to, I think it's called Apple Dental in the mall. They're pretty much everywhere. It's a little more expensive, is what I've been told by my Filipino friend. So, but yeah, but shout out to you, John, too, by the way. Just super congratulations. I don't know if you're here, but really congratulations to you. But anyways, yes, dentistry is a fraction to what you pay. So I went to the dentist, had a cleaning. I think it was 1,700 pesos. I'm just converting that out. So I paid $30 for a cleaning. I don't know if that included x-rays or not. I don't think it did. But for $30 for a dental cleaning is what I paid. So yeah, real inexpensive. Did you see Texas Filipino heading to Selenia to go swimming with my cuz? I didn't. Yeah, no, that would be great. I just moved from there. It'd be cool to see that guy. Yeah. Because Jeff is on your line. Reach out to him with a simple email. He actually messaged me. He replied on one of my videos. And then I did recognize him. He was on one of my lives. I felt bad. It was actually my first live. I was so nervous. It was kind of funny. But he was on my live and commented. And yes, you could. I do miss my family out there, even though honestly, you know, when I looked at those relationships, they were all digital. You know, a lot of my cousin's stuff I hadn't seen in years. Some of it was a pandemic, and we just get busy. You get busy in your life, and even though you live an hour away from each other, you just don't, you know, go 5 years without seeing them. So, you know, kind of life in the West. But it happens. But yeah, that was when I looked at those relationships. I was like, you know, I can maintain these relationships from anywhere in the world. So, but yeah, that's funny. Yes, just kidding. LOL, I missed it. Looks good on YouTube. Yeah, John, what looks good on YouTube? I missed it. Yeah, I like it. What are you using for streaming? I've got StreamYard. I've got I don't have the top of the line version. Like I can only push 720. They have a HD where you can push 1080, but so yeah, I've got StreamYard. It's a paid version. Like you don't see the ad wherever up in one of these corners. You don't see the StreamYard ad. So I do have the paid version of it, which allows me to, you know, I don't have any, like a lot of the restrictions like with a free, but yeah, StreamYard. And it does allow me to stream to multiple platforms, which I was streaming to Facebook, but I need to kind of learn and tweak that a little bit more and see what's going on. You were blurry just for a tick. Okay. All right. Yeah, good. So I did have an issue with my internet. They replaced the biscuit back there. The biscuit was bad, I guess. And as soon as they swapped it out, I was getting 100 down and like maybe 30 or so up. So yeah, it should be better now. Refresh your screen. I'll clear here. Okay, good. Are you in Iloilo? Paul says, no, I'm not in Iloilo. I got back on Monday. I was just there for a quick trip. Did like 3 days, but loved it. Loved that little town. I can see, I can see why people move there. I really can see it. My one concern, so like if you're a dater, if you're like a big casual dater, I don't think it would be a good city for you. But if you're a family guy, wants to settle down, a wife or whatever, or if you're a cyclist, Iloilo looks good. It's and I say this because it's a good option. It's like that town in between like Dumaguete and Cebu City. You know, Dumaguete for me, now look, nothing against Dumaguete, right? But for me, it's a little too sleepy. Not a lot going on there. So it just didn't work for me, right? And I knew that right away when I got there. But Iloilo is a little bit bigger. You got more restaurants. You got all that kind of stuff, right? A little more modern housing. You got condos, you know, that kind of deal. And you've got a beautiful river walk with, you know, I think of 20 something kilometers of path, like designated path, right? So that's what I really liked about Iloilo. But then it's also smaller than Cebu City. So Cebu City, look guys, Cebu City is massive. Think Chicago. 3.5 million people. When you combine Mandaue and Cebu City and Lapu-Lapu, right? So the region is just massive. So, just big city. So Iloilo is I don't know the population. Let's see if we can find that real quick. Let's look. What's the population of ILO Iloilo City? Population of Iloilo City is 500,000 people. So, so half, like half the size. And I don't know if that's, so the Cebu City is 1.5 billion. So Iloilo is 500,000. So if that gives you kind of an example of it. And let's look, you know what? Here we go. Let's bring up the map, guys. Let's look at what we got, right? So we can look at Iloilo City. So you're talking about this area right in here. Really, really great. Love it, love it. And this island too, this is Guimaras. So we went out there. Yeah, it was all right. I've got a video coming up on that where there's some wind farms that really was surprising. Some nice beach. Looks like they do some island hopping kind of down through here. And of course, there's Bacolod over there, which I'm going to be checking out as well at some point. But this was just a quick trip. But if you take a look at Iloilo and what you got here, so all along the river, you've got these bike paths. Like I said, 20-something kilometers of bike path. It is a city that you can really get around on a bicycle. So really digging that. I'm just trying to think too where I was staying at. I think, yeah, anyways. Yeah, just love it. Great little town. Big fan. Big fan. Yep. But yeah, I got back on Monday. Your connection, yeah, connection's good. Okay, yeah, it should be good now. Should be good. I would never tell anyone how much money I had and I spent it. Yeah, right. You got to be a little bit careful, but it is a common question that I get a lot that people ask is how much. So people, and I give people the similar advice a lot of times. I'm no financial expert, right? But I do tell people, get professional coaching, go out and hire, because a lot of these guys will do it for free. But granted, you got to watch because they want your money to invest, right? But go hire a professional. Really go have someone to look through your assets, and then they'll set it up for you. I met some guys recently who did this, and you can hear it, right? They've got money coming off every year. They got money coming out from somewhere that's going to give them cash. So really, really, really cool. And I recommend doing that. Yeah. Yep. Which, yeah, we do. We want to be a little bit careful. Audio and video are fine. Okay. Before you ended the live, the whole live looked clear except when you're muted. Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah, just there wasn't anyone on that the Facebook feed that I could see. So I do want to experiment with that. Do Filipinos date men with no teeth? Yeah, I don't think teeth is a big deal here because dental care in general isn't super accessible. So oral hygiene isn't a big deal, right? Would they prefer a guy with a bunch of pearly whites? Yeah, probably. But yeah, I think you would have a lot more understanding and I think that goes with health issues in general. Teeth, whatever, right? Maybe you're not in the best of shape. Maybe you're missing an arm, whatever, right? Whatever. The Filipinos are a lot more accepting. And yeah, I would say you're fine. Say you're fine with a lot of that stuff because there's a lot of Filipinos with missing teeth. So yeah, I don't have any cough drops, but I certainly could use one. Sorry, hold on. Take your Social Security at 62 if no longer working and will not live past your 80s. Yeah, I think it kind of depends. He was probably running his numbers though from taking it at full retirement and getting into the 2000s. So, but yeah, I don't know the age. I still have to run my numbers. I'm about 10 years off, and a lot of it depends on what I do in the next 10 years with my earnings. But yeah, I'm with you. Dan, it takes a lot of courage to make that move. There's no lease. Yep, there's no lease on life. You have great positive attitude. Yeah, thanks, man. No, I appreciate it, Dan. Thank you. And look, this was scary. I hired a financial advisor, and they're like, it's a one-way ticket, right? I was scared. I was really, and I got here, and I'm like, oh, crap. I'm not. It was, and that's why. Actually, that's one of the reasons why I like to meet new guys right when they get here. Just say, hey, let's talk. Let's chill. You're safe. Here's where you get your phone. Here's where you get your visa. Go find your water. Don't worry about dating. Walk around. Watch, don't get yourself run over. But it's scary, man. It's scary, especially if you sell the farm and move out. But yeah, thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. It's so, after being here a year now, it's great. Especially when I meet the guys that are new here. I was like, yeah, I've been where you're at. I remember those days. You're fine. You're safe. Go walk around. Have fun. Yeah, really, really cool. But thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. Hello, Chris. How are you? Always you have a nice condo. Yeah, I really love this place. Hope we can see you soon in Cebu. Yeah. Any plans on going to Davao City, especially the province Davao del Norte? Have a nice day to you and Chris. Yeah, I would love to get out there. I do. I don't have any plans to go to Davao City, but I would love to. I absolutely would love to go out there. Really, the riding, the motor. I'm a big motorcycle enthusiast, although I haven't been on my bike in a long time. But yes, I would love to ride Mindanao. I was just talking to a gentleman the other day. He was talking about the riding in Mindanao, so I'm really excited to get out and see that. Safer than most parts of the United States. It's really interesting, isn't it? It is. I feel safer, right? I feel safe. I really do. There is crime here, but it's not like violent crime, So I definitely feel safe. And as a foreigner, look, you're a lot of times you're a lot bigger. I'm definitely bigger than most Filipino men. And I'm thick, right? Like I'm 220 pounds. I'm not a small guy. I mean, I'm not tall. I'm only 5'10", but I'm like, a thick dude. So they don't really mess with me. But yes, it's safer than most parts of the United States, without a doubt. I feel safer walking the streets here than I did in Denver, without any, walking the I can't even remember what it's called now. Is it the 16th Street? Yeah, 16th Street Mall. I mean, it's just sketchy now. It's horrible since the pandemic. It got super sketchy and just dangerous. I don't feel fear like that anywhere here at all. Yeah. I saw the video of you asking her if you were okay there. Yeah. I saw the video. She was okay there. Yeah. Remember? Yes, 5'10", 200 stuff. Yep, yes. 5'10", 220. They don't mess with me that much. Oh, that's funny. I'm getting back. I'm back in the gym really hard now, and it feels great. I can already feel especially my upper body, above my, like my chest and up is really kind of coming along. I still got my gut to work on a little bit, but those avocado pies during the day don't necessarily help so much. But I'm running. I'm back in the gym, exercising, so it's going all right. It's going all right. I don't want to sell my gold, and I don't trust banks to store it. Yeah, I guess I'll have to wait a bit longer. Yeah, no worries, man. Definitely come out when it's right for you, when it makes sense, and hire an advisor, like I said, to kind of really go through it all. Yeah, I hear you. Hello, sir. Welcome to Iloilo City. Yes, I just recently recognized by UNESCO as a creative city of gastronomy and home of, yes, that festival. So guys, this festival here that he's talking about, I happened on it. That's what I happened on. And that was just a rehearsal. You should Google that festival and you'll see these incredible images that are associated with it. I really wish I can get back to see it. Yeah, I don't know if the timing is going to work where I can do that, but really, really incredible. Hey, yes, Mayang Buntag. Glad I like Iloilo. Taco Nomad, really incredible. I don't know if you've been out there yet. Love that little town. Really cool. Man, I hope you're good there, man. I really do. I hope you're good. Yeah, hope you're everything you're staying warm enough in that great white north, eh? The biscuit, did it come with mayo? Yeah, they had to replace the biscuit down there on the wall. And once they did that, man, I was crushing it. Like before that, I think I was like less than 5 meg, and then they replaced the biscuit and it was like 115. So yeah. Am I staying in Cebu? I am in Cebu. I'm in at least Cebu through October, and honestly, guys, I might just stay in Cebu. Iloilo would be one city that I could see maybe going to, but I'd like it here, man. I like the city. I'm a city guy. I've lived all over, right? Like I was sharing earlier, I did live in South Dakota. I lived, on a farm, South Dakota. I lived in Kentucky, so I have lived in some rural areas, but I like the city. I like the convenience of the city. I like walking out and getting food and, experiencing that. So I really like Cebu City. It might always be my home. There's good medical stuff here. So, if as we get older and aging and need access to those facilities, those are here. So I like it. I'm actually considering buying a condo in Cebu City, but it would be, maybe 3 to 5 years down the road kind of deal. But yeah, I like it here. Yeah, I need a maid. Yes, I need a maid. I do need a maid, man. I actually do want to hire a maid. That would be nice. So yeah, we'll see. It's just that also brings up some concerns about having a maid, right? Like she couldn't at all be beautiful. That would the last thing I would need is to have a 20-year-old beautiful maid living right next door. That would not be good. Oh my gosh, just the image of it just busts me up. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, snow here in BC, yeah, cutting out. Oregon early tomorrow. Excuse me. Yeah, yeah, nice, man. I know you're a big skier. I hope the snow is good, man. I hope you enjoy. Stay safe. Have fun. It's great, brother. Twitch and Kick are popular for live streams as well. Most use StreamYard, Streamlabs, or Restream. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know Twitch is big. I think I could use StreamYard to kind of stream all over. I do have the paid version. So, but yeah, I think I do want to start broad, kind of streaming out a lot of different places because I really enjoy the live streams. And I think I really feel like I'm kind of underutilizing that aspect of what I'm up to. Just get my live streams out a little bit to a broader audience. I enjoy the live streams quite a bit, actually. Are you planning to do a business in the Philippines? I don't know. I mean, there is a business that's falling in my lap, to be honest with you. And it was a business that I knew would be there right away, just giving who I am, like what I'm good at. And that's really just kind of setting people up here in the Philippines, getting them going. But I don't know. Like, I don't know how to do it. And then there's some stuff around monetizing that legally. So yeah, I don't know. And then maybe something around motorcycling. There's another business that I see that I've kind of thought about with, like in Thailand, they do a lot of motorcycle tours and things like that. They don't have that here. So there's a couple of business ideas that I have, sure. Yeah, and I've got legal friends, like my buddy John. He's an attorney here, so he could be my business partner and an attorney in that. So, how far is the city center from Iloilo to the airport? It's a little bit. And gosh, dude, it's the one disadvantage of Iloilo too that I found is the traffic is pretty horrendous, especially during rush hour. So it actually took an hour to get to the airport. And the airport, I got there Friday morning like 5 a.m. and the traffic was quick. Like it took me maybe 20 minutes or so to get from the airport to Iloilo downtown. So, yeah, 20 minutes or so. But on the way back, when I left at like 6 in the evening, it took well over an hour to get there. So it just kind of depends. In Iloilo, you can also use Grab, and taxis are there. So it's really easy to get around in that way too. Yeah, great question, Benny. Do most of the expats have a new bright white dentures? Don't most of the expats have? Yeah, pretty shiny, bright teeth. Yeah, dental hygiene isn't, you can be missing teeth. You can be just fine in that regard because they are. They don't have the Filipinos don't have the best dental hygiene like we do. So yeah, I'm really a fan of that. Joe and I actually went to the dentist, and it had been years, I think, since she had been there. So my cleaning, because I go 3 times a year, mine was 1,600 pesos and hers was like almost 4,000 pesos or 3,500 pesos, I think it was. So yeah, they don't really go that often to the dentist. You can live like a king on 25K if you don't drink and smoke. Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing, Jim. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol and I don't smoke, and I live really well on right around that budget, especially by myself. So yeah, I'm with you, brother. Hey, Chris, do the condos allow large dogs like a golden retriever? Yeah, some of them do, right? So it just depends on where. But I see golden retrievers right next door to me, and labs and the husky. So it just depends on where you're at, right? Just depends on where. Yep. Were you able to calculate how much you'll be losing out on Social Security from retiring early? Benny, I haven't looked on those numbers. Oh, this is like from like not working now. I get what you're saying. So when I looked at my Social Security numbers, I think like right now was it? I think it was 2,500. I think my Social Security is. But I didn't look at what it would be like if I kept working, right? But I've earned enough credits and all that stuff. I think my current retirement salary at full retirement age was like just like 2,500. I thought. I can't remember. I need to look at that again. I haven't been looking at, but that was, and then I got a 401k, and by the time I hit those assets, which will be 7 years from now, potentially that money could double, right? So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pull Social Security and then pull from the 401k. I too, once I get closer to retirement age, I'll be hiring an advisor to really kind of allocate those assets a little more, professionally. So yeah, that's if you're Brian, if you're here on the live, that's a Show Me. Right there. That's a Show Me air filter. If you're asking me that, sorry. Sorry, message came up. Is the Philippines safe to be? I don't know, right? If World War III breaks out, I'm not sure. I mean, is there anywhere that's safe? I would suspect so. I mean, to me, there's no other better place to be. Look, here would be my thought on that: is any self-sustaining society would be a good place to be, right? If the world shuts down. I think if you look at COVID, like when the world did shut down, how were things there? Are you living in an environment where you can live without electricity and all that kind of stuff? So yeah, I mean, maybe. Can you live off the land? Philippines, you could live off the land pretty easily. I think Florida was always my zombie apocalypse. Like if things really hit the fan, I would go to, in the United States, I would go to Florida, just simply because you could live and eat very easily there. There's so much food like growing out of the earth, as well as you could fish. So yeah. So yeah, I would think Philippines would be very similar. It's self-sustaining, I think, in a lot of ways as far as everyday needs. But yeah. Giovanni, the USCIS here in America, still waiting on my green card for my Filipino wife. Okay. They're staying 2 years, but swim across the river to Mexico. They get 2 weeks for free. Cheaper to bring the Philippine through. Okay, yeah. Through Mexico. I think I have heard that before, because you can get them into Mexico, right? Yep. Avocado pies. Yeah. I really said hell no to Dramageddon. Yes. I felt bad for that, honestly. I was like, made this whole video. I'm moving to Dumaguete, and I get down there and I'm like, oh crap. And the main reason too, guys, it wasn't so much the city. I was like, I would have dealt with that. Like I've lived on a farm, whatever. That would have been fun. And I actually made some friends. Shout out to you, Chuck. Really good dude from Oklahoma. But guys, I couldn't find a place. And then this place fell on my lap. And so it was really the housing that was the big factor, not so much the city and stuff like that. I liked it. It would have been fun to hang out with Paul and Mike and, the critter hunter down there and get to know him. There's some really good dudes there. I actually really like the expat community and the guys that were there. And I'm going to stay down there. I met a gentleman there who performs for he's a trumpet player for the Singapore Symphony. Shout out to you, brother, John. So he's offered me a place. Yeah, I could, rent out his place while he's kind of away, because he spends a lot of time back and forth. So I plan on being around Dumaguete, just won't be living there, and doubt I'll probably ever would live there, kind of deal. But because I have an opportunity to stay down there periodically. Hello from New York. I know you're seeing someone still when you're out on the street, or women hitting on you. You must attract a lot of attention. Well, I'm actually single. I'm not seeing anybody. But do women are out there hitting on you, giving you the eye? Yes and no. So I'm one of those guys. I've even in the States, I really wasn't really good at picking up when women are flirting with me. I was like, oh, what do you mean? She really wanted to know what time it was, right? I'm kind of that guy. It's like, oh man, I missed it. Yeah, so I mean, a little bit. I think it's some of the women too, like we were talking about earlier, because I'm a little bit of a bigger dude. They're a little bit, I think, intimidated Plus, I don't have the most friendliest of expressions. I kind of, Dana White, Vin Diesel, I kind of have this, uh, uh, expression that kind of don't mess with me, I think, on my face. So I'm trying to actually smile more because so anyways, I don't think I'm super approachable, is what I'm trying to say. And so yeah, I don't really get a lot of attention. I'm younger. Honestly, I feel like some of the older guys do a lot better with the dating, just because the women are really into secure. Like if you're a young guy, I think you almost have a harder time dating than some of the older gentlemen because they really want a secure man. They don't want a guy who's going to cheat on them. They want a guy who's going to be there with them forever. They want a husband, right? They want a husband. And so yeah, but yeah, I still, it's there a little bit. And most of that though, I feel they're not really flirting with me. They're just more like interested in like a foreigner kind of deal, right? Like, oh wow, there's this guy who's whatever, just a different foreigner. It's that kind of deal. Not that they really have any interest in dating me. At least that's kind of been my experience. Giovanni, he's a city boy and not a country boy. I've lived in both, but I do love this. I do really like the city. I like the life of the city. I like walking out. I like getting out and just, experiencing the town. And I do like that. Yeah. I enjoyed seeing the Filipino arguing in the comments. Yes, isn't that funny? It was hilarious. And I brought that up to my buddy here. We're talking about how the Ilonggos are really proud, and they should be, right? They should be proud of that festival. And the guys, they are very proud of their cities. Even here, Cebu versus Manila, dude. That is a big, big deal. That's why you really don't want to come here in Cebu and live here and speak Tagalog. It is there's definitely these rivalries with the cities, and it's really interesting. It'd be comparable to like football teams, right? Like Oakland versus Denver and whatever, right? Whatever those. It's really there's some rivalries there that are there. So yeah, I'm with you, Benny. That was really funny to see. No, my parade's better. Your parade's better. And even between, I've got an Ilongo friend here, and a Cebuano friend, and they go back and forth too. It's really. uh, I, let's see. I'm not there yet, but traveling young man, go to a live place to see things. I hear there's a few islands. Yep. So fun. Where am I at with time? 7:49, 8 o'clock. All right, 10 minutes. Okay, not bad. I just turned 53 2 months ago. Just turned 53 2 months ago, back in November. Hey, Lone Star. How's it going, brother? Have you considered taking up a new hobby, filming? Yeah. Cage fighting, speedo modeling, scuba diving. Yes. Yes. And I invite anyone who comes out here to do this exact thing, right? Take up something new. You're in a completely different part of the world. Scuba diving, snorkeling, all those things are just phenomenal hobbies to do here, and relatively inexpensive. Like, look, you can get certified to dive. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my converter. You can get certified to dive for, it's at 25,000 pesos roughly. You could probably find it for cheaper, but around 25,000. So that's like 450 US, right? Is you can get certified to scuba dive, and then you can go around some of these places and do the scuba, or like you can just snorkel. Like I love the snorkeling part. That's kind of what I've been doing. I have not done any scuba yet. I might down the road, and then just other things, right? I got into photography and videography. That was kind of a little bit of a hobby that I started in the pandemic. But that's also something that you can get into out here. But look, there's all kinds of things that you can do out here. Music is really big. Maybe you want to get into singing, do some voice stuff. Karaoke is big. Go take singing lessons, right? It's just so much. We could do what we want. We're retired, So that's the other thing I like about a big city is you kind of have access to a lot of these things that you necessarily wouldn't if you were in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a rice field. Not to take away from the guys that want that, right? I'm just not. But it's just for me, I like the ability, like voice lessons, right? Let's say I wanted to take up singing, and I can go get voice lessons here, or just you name it, right? Just so much available here. But yes, absolutely. Everyone, when you come out, pick up a new hobby, pick up something that you've always wanted to do. right? Really cool. I've heard. Oh, that's funny, man. I've someone was telling me about this. Uh, yes, it is, but it isn't. It is. I don't think like it. I think it's a hard procedure to reverse. Like it would be something you really want to think about, right? Yeah, yeah. You want to be. I think it is, but it is definitely a hard procedure. I think you want to relate to it if you go into this procedure that it's not. I think that's the conversation that you want to have about a vasectomy. And that's kind of the coaching that I got too. And look, when I got that done, it was right after my divorce. I did not, you know, I was not thinking I would be dating a 20 or 30-year-old woman. That was not in my radar, at all. So, it made sense at the time for me to just be like, I'm 50, whatever. When was that? 2020, 2019? Whatever, 49, 50 years old. Yeah, I'm kind of at the age where I'm done having kids, and I didn't foresee dating anyone that the age that could really conceive kids. So in hindsight, I may have not, I don't know, right? I'm glad it's done though, that's for sure. But yeah, you want to relate to it that it's not reversible. Did you say that you currently live on 25K? It's under 500 a month. Your apartment looks great. Yeah, no. So, yeah, this place rents for around 80,000. So what is 80,000? Hold on, 80, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 1,400 US, right? Yeah, so my budget's a little bit all over the place. The exact price of this place that I'm paying for, I can't disclose honestly. But yeah, you can't really factor in my current living situation. But yeah, I spend, when I was dating with Joe, my budget went up quite a bit. It was in the 3,000 range, but I was spending somewhere between 1,700 US and 2,000 is what I would spend on average. Yes, it depends on if I was traveling a lot, right? People often mention Gio, Paul, and Mark have influenced them to move to the Philippines. All those guys? Well, I don't know if they influenced me, but they helped me make my decision as far as being here, and they also helped me, like, what's it like living here, and then these lives. Gio used to do a bunch of these lives. Gio's lives for me were so valuable because you could ask questions or you could hear other people's questions. These people, the questions I wouldn't even think of. The lives for me were just so massive, and in particular Gio's lives, just so great. Loved them, loved them, loved them. And then yeah, just watching other people's Filipino P, right? She's a little more entertaining, but still helpful in a lot of ways. And Jennifer Terry, I don't know if she's still doing stuff as far as how to travel with the visas and all that. But yeah, I don't know if anyone really, I would say, influenced me about coming out here, but there were definitely people, those guys, not so much Mark, but Gio and Paul were instrumental in me gathering information on how to be here, and still today. Another guy is Rike. But although when I was coming out here, Rike was back in the United States and wasn't doing much. But honestly, Rike now for me is a good one. He does some stuff. He did a video about, I can't remember the topic because he does a lot of relationship stuff. I find that really valuable. His information. So there was something. Oh yeah, he talked about being a mentor for women. And when you look at these relationships, because most of us are older, right, in our 50s or 60s or whatever, and we're dating women in their 20s and 30s, you really want to take on this role of a mentorship with this young person, right, and mentor them in life and kind of teach them. And that switched something for me with Joe, where I was like, okay, I'm twice this person's age almost, and I need to kind of help them and coach them through life and kind of guide them in a lot of ways because they just don't have the life experiences. Not that I'm better in any way, right? I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not better. I'm not smart. I'm a freaking idiot. But I've been through life. I've been through twice as much life, and there's some things I can contribute to a younger adult. So yeah, that made a big difference with Rike for me and a lot of his content now. So yeah, Gio, Paul, Rike were some of the big guys that I like to watch that helped out. Still loving Cebu City, Chris. What do you like most about it? I love Cebu City. We talked about this a lot. I think, where just the things that are available. If I want to, like I said, take voice lessons, I can hire a coach. If I want to go have some food, there's abundance amount of restaurants. If I need to buy a motorcycle helmet or whatever, I got access to goods and services, medical care, I get teeth cleaning, doctors, dentists, all that stuff. The dating pool is, ginormous here, although it's a little more. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're like a dating guy, Cebu City is a great option to like date versus like, like in Iloilo or that kind of deal. What else do I like about Cebu City? I like the fact that it's right on the edge of the mountains. I can ride up the mountains and do whatever. Um, yeah, it's just a beautiful island. There's a lot to see here. It's safe here. There's, Sinulog with big events that are here. I love the weather here. I love the weather in Cebu City. It's different here. Yeah, the weather here to me is a non-deal. There's like almost always a breeze. This morning it was in the upper 70s. Right now it's 80 degrees. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and 80 degrees. So I like the weather here. I don't get as much rain. So yeah, I like Cebu City a lot. Some of the things I don't like about Cebu City, the traffic is a little bit rough, but coming from a major city in the United States, you're going to have traffic anywhere. So I don't necessarily feel like it's any worse than what I had in Denver. Honestly, in some ways, it's better here because you can avoid it. If you avoid the rush hour or you just hop on a motorbike taxi and you go through the traffic, you can get away from it. The other thing too is there's no interstates here. So it's once you know the side roads and all that, you just turn down another road and go somewhere else, right? So yeah, those are kind of some of the things I don't like. What else do I don't like about Cebu City? And the traffic, yeah, I think that's about it. I can't really think of too much. I do really like it here. Yeah. Oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate that, Hex. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, Dustin. I'm from Wisconsin in a smaller town. I'm visiting my lady friend in Davao. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice, man. Yeah, Davao City's great. Yeah, beautiful area. Love it. Chris, you definitely don't look intimidated like the guy Donald. Yeah. I need to get the white Mr. T the necklaces on. Shout out to Donald though, man. God, that guy. So look, if you can sit for an hour, and that's kind of why I do this, even though I haven't been here 10 years like a lot of dudes have. But look, if you could get here sit with a guy who's been here for a while, it just saves you so much headache and heartache and that. Donald, this guy that we're talking about, he and we lived in the same condo. And if you come to Cebu, you'll see this dude. He's 6'2". He's probably just over 200 pounds. It's just a big dude, right? And yeah, he sat me down. We talked for about an hour, and he gave me all kinds of coaching advice about being here, and talking about not being one of the guys in Ayala Mall that just sits there sitting on a park bench, right? So yeah, really fun. Yeah, good times. Big C, yeah, women want a husband. Yes, women in the States want to be the husband. Yeah, really interesting, right? It is really the dating dynamic is it threw me off guard a little bit. I feel too. Yeah, it's an adjustment. It is great though, where you do get to be a man. You get to be a man. It's nice. What's the best high class bar to go to in Cebu for men of vintage and netting class women? Yeah, I would think there's some places here. I'm trying to remember where I think Sita is a bar. There's some cigar bars that my buddy kind of got. One of the guys, Eric, if you're in here, Eric, probably not, but he goes to some cigar and whiskey bars. I don't, but I think they're around. I think Sita might be one. Maybe someone in here might know. The older guys easily attract younger women because they know he's got one fit in the grave already, so they don't have to wait long for the inheritance. Yeah, maybe. I don't, Lex. Maybe I'm just naive, and I probably am, but I don't know if money is the major factor of it. I just, yeah, they want a husband. I mean, it's part of it, like security in the marriage, right? It's there. But it's not the driving force. It's not like in the West at all, where they're just like waiting you for to die. They really want to be with you. And Joe made this comment too. She felt like bad because I was older. She didn't get to spend as much time with me, if I was more closer to her age. And we don't necessarily know, but yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting on that factor. I don't think they're not necessarily money hungry as they are stability. They want someone to be with them. They want someone who's loyal. They want someone who's not going to cheat and that kind of deal. That's why they come after us, and the stability and the security. But I wouldn't go as far to say as they want you gone, like a Western arrangement in that situation would, right? Yeah. Yeah, Giovanni, I get that a lot. I get that I look in my 40s or whatever, but I also, genetically, I'm I'm very lucky. I have a very athletic uh, body. I'm lucky. I should have. I am an athlete, right? But I'm not a professional one, but I very well could have been. Whatever. I have reflexes like a cat. I should have played hockey. I should have been a goaltender. Ball takes an easy 10 years off. Yeah, man. Yeah. Did you ever look into the? Yeah, man. Yeah, I want to get those. I especially now that I'm here. Yeah, I need. Well, so and then I got a little discouraged, brother, because with Iloilo they freaking speak Ilongo, but it's very similar. So some words kind of translated like good morning. Good morning there is my own aga, but good afternoon is my own hapon. So very similar, and then good evening is my own gabi. But they don't. It's not my own gabi like here. It's my own gabi. So there are some similarities. So I am gonna pick it back up again. I'm gonna pick it back up for sure. I'll let you know, man. And if it's online, if you want to crash it, you're more than welcome. I had a vasectomy as well. I saw them pull out the tube. Oh man, and they clamped it and burnt it off. I honestly can't. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, thankfully I was not looking at that, man. That's rough. Actually, the procedure though wasn't that bad. I didn't even need. I don't think I even took any pain medication. Ice was my best friend for a while, but yeah, the procedure really wasn't. It was pretty easy, and whatever. The weekend, and I was fine. So yeah. Hey, come in. I'm coming in 2 weeks. Wonder if it's worth to bring a pickleball paddle. There is pickleball here, and that is something I want to get into. There is. I do know there's a court around that people are playing. Yeah. I don't know, man. I do think it is around. I do think it around. Reversible vasectomy. I heard stories when you do it. Oh my gosh. Doing deal makes a vast difference. My gosh. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Oh, I could not imagine. I think you actually get knocked out for that, which I would want to be. Yes, Philippine Canadian Adventure and then Scan Roach. Hi from the Philippines Canadian Adventure. Yes. Hello. Can be reversed depending on how long you had it. Yeah. The other thing about mine though, guys, my accident, dude, I freaking smashed. Yeah. I don't even know if mine are reversible or not. Yeah. I took a gas tank to the groin. And after that, and partly too, because my operation, with the operation that I had with the pins and plates, I guess all the drainage and stuff goes down. I had one testicle, guys, that was bigger than a freaking softball. Oh, that was like the worst. I'm sorry. I'm sure I just freaked. The numbers are going to drop after that one, but that was some of the worst pain in the world, man. Trying to freaking move with a freaking softball between your legs. Trying to get like in and out of my wheelchair, and oh my gosh, that was some of the worst pain ever. I'll never forget that. Mactal Newton is a poor choice. Yeah, Mactal Newton is a poor choice for living. Very isolated and sterile. Another mirage created by YouTubers while everyone was on lockdown. Some bits should come out. Warning label. I agree. I'm not a fan of Mactal Newton either. Well, look, I think it's got some advantages, right? You're close to the resorts. You can get out and do some day use stuff. Because one of my complaints about Cebu City is you got no access to the beach. There you would, right? So there are some advantages, but you're right. You're on and on. You're completely removed from Cebu and some of the stuff that's here in the city. It takes you forever to get off the island. Let's say you want to go up in the mountains. You're 2 hours before you can get even to the mountains. And here I'm at the base of it, right? So there are some advantages. It just kind of depends. There's also a big Korean presence in the Mactal Newton area. So that you've got some good Korean restaurants, and maybe you want to be around that community more, although they have a tendency to be just amongst themselves, right? So yeah, there are some disadvantages, but yeah, I agree. There is a lot of talk about the Mocktown, Newtown area, and I stayed there. I stayed at an Airbnb for a little bit, and I knew immediately that this wasn't for me. But yeah. But there, I could see some pull there. I could really see. So here would be an example of that, right? So you're in Mocktown, you go out to the Shangri-La Resort, and you have access to that club. You can get a membership. You go work out at the gym. You have access to a freaking 5-star resort. I mean, that could be nice, right? So, but I'm with you though. I'm with you. Would you recommend IT Park or Business District to live in? Benton, I think they're both great options. I think they're both great. I don't think you could go wrong with either one. The Business Park, it's a little more of an indoor experience. So that's got its advantages if it's hot, if you're adjusting. So the Business Park could be good. IT Park, though, I feel is a little more social. It's a little more outdoors. There's a little more of a younger kind of vibe to it with the call centers that are around. So they both have their pulls, but I don't think you could go wrong with either. Really, I lived the past year in the Business Park, and I love it. I loved it there. Loved it. And here I'm back in IT Park, and it's all right. I like it. Yeah, both are good. Yeah, I hope not. Am I really muted? All right, good. I'm just scrolling down and see where I'm at. Okay, good. All right. I hope not. Chris, any reason you chose the Philippines over Latin America? I heard Colombia is much cheaper than the Philippines. Yes, I did look at Colombia earlier on. I also looked at Medellin. I looked at Bogota. I also looked at what Panama was rated really high. You know, so Nicaragua, Honduras. I did. The language was big. And dating. Language and dating were big deals for me. And I would say that even over Southeast Asia. When I looked at everywhere in the world to retire, language and dating are big factors. And then the people here are just really special, friendly. You want to be for me, I want to be somewhere like that picture, like the screenshot of this freaking title of this video. I want to be somewhere where I'm around friendly, playful people. And that's what you get here. You get friendly, playful, beautiful people who are curious about you and really like and respect you. That's what you get in this country. And you don't necessarily get that. You don't get that necessarily in Thailand. You don't get that in Central America, right? Big factor. Great question. I'm living in Mocktown Island. Is living in Mocktown Island better than Cebu? So yeah, we talked about that briefly, right? Let's see, 809. Yeah. Yeah, we talked a little bit about that briefly. I think it's got some advantages, but some clear disadvantages also. Yes, hand, wink, wave, chubby cheeks. It's cute. Cute. Do you have the opportunity to link up with other YouTubers? It's Wang, Filipina P, folks like that. So yeah, I did a video with Rowena from It's Wang. I did a video with her already. You know, look back, the super mom. So we did a video together. She's so sweet, guys. She's so sweet. You know, she and I were becoming good friends before I started dating, and then that she sensed a little bit of jealousy that was there, and she kind of backed off. But she's so sweet, man. What a great individual Rowena is. I would love to meet P, of course, but you know, she's busy, guys. She's got a full-on business. You know, but yeah, I have not met her. But yeah, I've met a lot of other vloggers. Of course, I've done several videos with Mike and Janet. Those guys are great. I did a video with Paul. You know, he's very gracious to have me on his channel. So I met Paul in May. So yeah, I've met a ton of other vloggers, and yeah, I've met Scott. Matter of fact, Scott's coming in town, regular guy. So he'll be in town. I'm sure we'll meet up at some point. I hope so. You know, he's an interesting character, just like in his videos. But yeah, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of guys, and everyone has been really enjoyed. Everyone that I've met who is a vlogger, you know, it's for me. There's this just sense of brotherhood, and that is there also with people in the same kind of doing the same deal. So I've enjoyed everyone I've met so far. Really have. Yes, my own Allah, Chris. Yes. Hello. Hey, buddy. Didn't get the notification. Hope you're well. I'm good here, brother. Yeah, thanks for making it, Dean. Hope you're good there as well. Hello, Chris. What is your next road trip? What places piques your interest? Actually, Sam, I think I'm going to be going out to Toledo. So after January is super busy with Sinulog going on, it is just going to be mob. A lot of content coming up with Sinulog. I think I've got one other video from Iloilo, and then the rest of it's going to be Sinulog because it's so much going on. And then after that, actually, I think early February, I'm going to just spend a week and go chill in Toledo. So I don't have anything else planned, really. You can save a ton on rent and transportation from Ella. You can walk to IT Park or Robinson's, Mango 20 minutes. Yeah. I basically, I walk a lot, Jim. I walk back and forth to IT Park. It's about a 20-minute walk. So, yeah, I'm walking around a lot. The other thing I'm doing is I'm using motor taxis. I use Move It. And what's the other one? I think it's Ungus or something. I use those a lot to get around versus a taxi. They usually cost about 50 pesos, sometimes 30 to 50 pesos for a ride around town versus a cab, which anywhere about 100 or so. There is a Seinfeld episode when Kramer gets a vasectomy. I may have seen that. He came in limping and yelping for you. Jerry and George were in the waiting room. One busted out behind him. Oh, that's great. Yeah, softball, dude. Oh my gosh. Trying to move around with that thing was the hardest. That was so rough. Oh my gosh. I had the vasectomy. I had no idea there was a cord that connected the tube to your neck, because when they pulled the cord out, I could feel it. Yeah, compressing my spine. Oh, hey, Javi. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was. The vasectomy wasn't too bad. It was pretty simple. Yeah, pretty simple. Before you get back in the race ship, have you considered checking out Thailand? Huh. Yes, thanks for the line. Yeah, no problem, Hex. I haven't checked out Thailand. I mean, I am going to go to Thailand at some point. It's probably not going to be maybe 2024. There is a festival coming up in April that where they squirt each other with the water. That looks kind of fun. But yeah, so that's on my radar. And my visa does expire around April. Yeah, maybe. I'm really just kind of whatever, day by day kind of deal, kind of life here. My life was so structured in the United States. I just structured, right? I'm really, if you haven't noticed, trying to embrace a more spontaneous way of living and some spontaneity and just getting up and doing whatever. Now I'm creating structures around my exercise and things like that, but I'm really intentionally moving away from the structured life of the West, right? But yeah. Hey, Chris, I'm excited to be coming to Cebu. Okay, great. I'm wondering if I rent a motorcycle, do they allow it to take it off the island, Negros and Bohol? Yeah, maybe. You could check. I haven't rented a bike, but you could look into that. Just be careful riding here in Cebu. Yeah, and especially in 2 weeks, dude. It's going to be crazy here. It is going to be crazy. And if you're coming to Cebu in January, make sure your accommodations are done, like handled, because it is booked. And the ferries, I think the ferries are already done. Somebody was talking about trying to move around on the ferries. Because a guy I know was wanting to get down to Davao City and then move around. It's they're booked. You can't. Yeah. So this month is crazy. This month is absolutely epic. Moving around, trying to get around, trying to get around even the city, let alone other islands. Do people there understand personal space like the West? They do not. They get right up in your business. They do. There's no such thing as personal space here. That would be where you may want to pick a more quiet or rural area of the Philippines. Sorry, I'm just hearing something back there. But yeah, they don't. Yeah, it's really wild. It's an interesting question. Chris, why so many women cheat nowadays? Is that an American thing or a big thing in the Philippines too? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Filipinos are a little more loyal, but I don't know. It just could be a human nature thing too, right? You know, it could be just a human nature thing. I'm not sure. I kind of think the Philippines, yeah, I don't know. I would think they're a little more loyal, but I don't know, right? Another question, Chris. Or your previous Renault Kano, why did you find another unit there? What things did you miss when you used to live there? Why didn't I find another unit there? You know, I might have. I was just ready for something different. I was ready to get out of the business park and try something. I'd been there a year. I do love Selenia. I love that place. For the first guy coming here, that location, like if you're looking for the business park, you can't beat it. You cannot beat it. You just walk across the street and there's a whole world there that you can explore for a very long time. You know, restaurants and all that stuff, you know, 6 months easily. And like, all right, after 6 months, all right, maybe move on a little bit. And you've adjusted. You've got your visa there. You got your phone set up there. You've got all your restaurants there. You know, it makes it easy to be here. But why didn't I find another? Yeah, it was just like I said, I was ready to get out. And I might go back there at some point. They're building 2 other towers. One tower is coming up, I think, in April. And then another tower is being constructed. I mean, maybe I buy there. You know, the Cebu Business Park is considered one of the best neighborhoods of the Philippines in many ways. So, yeah. Is there any issue renting bike scooter there if you don't have a motorcycle license? Yeah, I think you need a motorcycle. You probably find people who would rent you one. But I do think you probably need a motorcycle license to rent one, and you're going to want one. And I don't recommend riding a scooter in the city unless you're really, really used to that type of riding. Unless you're really, really like if you rode in Vietnam or whatever and that kind of deal in the cities, or it's so different. It's such a different riding experience here. I mean, you can do it. Like if you're living here and you wanted to learn, yeah, go out on Sundays, ride around the city on Sundays. But if you're just visiting and this is vacation for you, I would not get a scooter and ride around. Not in Cebu. Just do taxi, grab. I don't ride my motorcycle around the city much at all. I use taxis and grabs. I agree. Rowena is brilliant. Yes. Isn't she, Dean? Man, phenomenal. Phenomenal woman. I mean, phenomenal. Just really, I'm so impressed with who she is. Always have been. Yeah. What's that? You've been using your motorcycle taxi? Yeah. I know, right? A sweaty helmet. Yeah, it is a factor. It is a factor when you're riding the motorcycle taxi. But you can't beat it, man. For like 30 pesos, you just ride down the street. And honestly, Benny, it is going to be the only way to get around the town here in the next couple of weeks. It's just the roads are going to be so congested. Yes. Hey, Chris, what are things that you can say about U.S. now that you've settled in the Philippines? What do I miss about the U.S.? I miss my family, miss my kids, my friends, but that's about it, really. There's really nothing. I don't miss anything food-wise. I miss my English breakfast black tea because I just can't. It's hard to get here, like on Amazon. And I think it's kind of one of those things that FDA or whatever, they won't, not FDA, but whatever, you can't get certain things shipped, fruits and that. I think it's one of those things that they just, like, you're not allowed to get shipped here. But yeah, there's nothing really that stands out like I miss. I just, guys, I can't say it enough as far as what you get to experience here, being who we are. Like, I was an invisible 50-year-old male, in the United States. And I'm not here. I am just not. My buddy Dan, right? We did a video early on. He's back in the United States wrapping things up because he's moving back here. And he's like, dude, I hate it. He hates living in the United States after being here. He's just invisible. You go from zero to hero, and it feels good. Not that you kind of need that or whatever, but I mean, coming from where we come from, it's just such a happier environment to be. And I don't just mean like the dating, right? I mean, just like people in general are happy to see you. They're smiley. They're curious. I've got more friends now than I have in any stage of my life. It's just, I love it here. I love it. I really, really do love it here. I thought I was missing Cinelogue. How long does it run? I rented an Airbnb, no problem yet. Yeah. So Cinelogue is going to run through, hold on. Let's take a look at the events on Cinelogue. It starts up today. Some stuff, things start up. Update, open later. Let's see, events. Okay. It starts up today with some stuff, the 10th through the 20. Oh, I'm still scrolling. Look at all these events. I think it's the 28th. exhibit. I got so much stuff here. It's hard to tell. Okay, the grand finale and grand fireworks is January 21st. So yeah, basically a lot of most of the month. So make sure you're booked. Any reservations? If you're coming here in January, buckle your seatbelt. Get your reservations. Transportation's going to be hard. It's going to be hard moving in the city, out of the city. Walking might be your best bet. If you move to the province, your business will get around even quicker. You move to the province? Yeah, I like the provinces. I like getting out. I think that's one of the other cool things about Cebu is you can get an hour and a half and you're on the other side of the island at Balaban, where you're looked at like an alien, right? Because they don't ever see foreigners. So you don't have to get far. I mean, even you can go down to Cologne Street. You can get in a cab and ride for 15 minutes. Go down to Cologne Street. You're going to be one of the only foreigners there, right? So I mean, you can be in the foreigner bubbles, and it doesn't take long, minutes to get out of them too. Which health insurance do you have? Actually, right now, I had Safety Wing for the first year. That's expired. I'm just self-funded right now, but I'm going to go to, there is a health insurance program. I need to sign into that. So, but yes, I've got a plan. I can't remember is it PhilHealth, or I can't remember what it is. There is one that I just got paperwork on. So I'm in the process of filling that out. Rent a motorbike from Derek. Yeah. Rent a motorbike from Derek at Q Adventures. He doesn't care where you take the bikes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Derek's a great guy, man. Really good guy. I've met him a couple of times. He's a friend of Scott. Scott's actually helping him out getting a scooter too. The only disadvantage with that is he's out on Lapu-Lapu. So you'd want to make sure that you coordinate that pickup where you're not going to be riding in a bunch of traffic to get back out of that island. So, whatever Sunday or whatever day to Derek, I'm sure Derek could coordinate that. But you're right, Derek's a good guy at Q Adventures. Hey, Chris, have you checked out any condos near the airport in Mocktown? I haven't. We were just talking a little bit about Mocktown, Newtown there. So those are some places. I did stay at some Airbnbs out there, but I knew pretty quick that I didn't want to stay out. I didn't want to stay out there. How was your trip to Iloilo? I loved it. Eagle Eyes. Love that town. I could see being out there. I could see it. It to me, it is one of those cities where it's like, all right, this is something I could see being to for the first time. When I'm traveling around of all these other cities, the fun places to visit, but wouldn't want to necessarily live, right? Like, you look at, Palawan and stuff like that, right? Beautiful places to visit, Boracay, beautiful places, but no way would I want to live there. Iloilo is one of the first places that, like, all right, I could see myself living here. Nice, like I would say, a Midwest kind of vibe to it, Salt Lake City kind of vibe to it, real wholesome, real conservative. I liked it. Beautiful people, friendly people. Have you encountered upper class Tagalog person? Yeah, like down their noses at old Western white men in the country. Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that. I have not experienced anything like that. Thankfully, Cebu is not like that. Cebu City is not like, and that's one of the reasons why I chose to be here. They're not so. There's not an elitist way that I've heard a little bit about what you're talking about, but I have not experienced anything like that personally. Have you tried Joyride? It's like Grab but cheaper. I have not tried Joyride. I've not, other than the massage parlor. No, I'm joking. No, but I've not tried Joyride. I have tried Grab. I like Grab. So Grab could be, it's what, 30 or so pesos more than your average taxi. But the nice thing about Grab is you don't have to put in your destination, right? You can just, and I like that because, you get in a cab, like where you're going. And sometimes you have to explain kind of 3 or 4 different ways of how it is you're wanting to go. The other thing I like about Grab is the fare is determined. So, they can drive however which way they want to go there, and you're not worried if they're trying to drive around the city kind of deal. So I do like Grab, but I have not tried Joyride. A lot of times I take the cabs, like I said, but I've been actually starting to take some motorcycle taxis more and more too. Ayala is a city in itself. It has everything. I agree. And one of the things too, Jim, I didn't realize is they commission their own security. They have like police force right there that you'll see the guys in the street and all that. And they're there to, to kind of keep an eye on things. They deal with traffic and all the other things. And you don't see that any other parts of the city. So and this goes for kind of throughout the Philippines. If you're in an Ayala Mall community, near an Ayala Mall, it's a great place to be in many ways, and safety is one of them. Yeah. Any ideas on any ideas on how to make good income out of your wonderful YouTube channel? I don't know. I've been wondering that myself. It's actually one of the struggles with YouTube. YouTube actually costs me money. It costs me money to do this channel. It's like, what? So yeah, it's not profitable at all. So if anyone is out there thinking to come out here and make a YouTube channel, don't do it for the money. I think the month of October, it was like $120. It cost me more to do the channel than for the month, $120, right? So there's guys that make money, but you got to be working it. This is already kind of a full-time job for me, but I'm really not doing it for the money of it. I mean, it would be an aspect of it. I'm not going to lie. It would be great. My goal around the channel, my financial goal around the channel is to cover my expenses, right? If I could cover my expenses with YouTube, that would put me in a really phenomenal. And then what I would do with that is then, whatever 5 years from now, use the money that I would be living on instead of, you have YouTube to pay for those expenses. So I wouldn't have to use that, and then use that money to actually buy a condo. So we'll see. But right now, yeah, it's nothing. So yeah, I have no ideas other than be consistent, and then constantly grow and learn, trying to improve and grow and learn. So yeah, good question though. I definitely want to rent a bike the next time I go to Dumaguete. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's the other thing about Dumaguete is it really is a city where you have to have transportation. You can't get around otherwise. You have to have some kind of car or scooter to get around there. Can you recommend condo complexes in IT Park that have most amenities, pool, gym, and best locations? I think, I'll be honest, I'm new to IT Park, so I don't know a lot of the condos here in IT Park, but I would get on like RentPad. I know a guy that's staying out at, what's that, 38 Place. I know that's one. There's some Vita Towers are new, so you can look at those. But the best thing to do, Fenton, is when you get out here, just start looking at them. Because you're gonna want to, you're gonna want to kind of wander up and see what they're like. But I know people, like I said, 38. I think it's 38 Plaza or 38 something. And of course, the Vita Towers, those are right there. There's another one I stayed at or walked into that's also right there that looked nice. Sorry, I can't remember the name of it. There's a Jayco at the bottom of it. But just when you get here, look for the condos, walk into the condos, and say, hey, can I get a list of numbers? An interesting point, though, on that you want to kind of do, because a guy was just telling me about this. He's like, Chris, I didn't have a Philippines phone number yet. So when I was calling these people, I wasn't getting any response. So you might want to get your phone set up first and then start calling these numbers that you get from for condos, right? Because once you have the Philippines phone number, they're going to recognize the local number. Otherwise, they might not answer. So, but yeah, there's a lot of options. I don't feel like housing is an issue at all here in Cebu, and they're building and building and building. I think for years we're going to have a lot of good options. Great place to rent, great place to buy because of that, right? You're going to have a surplus. Love the good English breakfast tea. I'm with you, Dean. It's almost as lovely as pie and mash. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, no, I miss my English breakfast tea. I mean, you can get it. It's just what I like to do. I like the loose leaf bulk stuff, so I can just kind of put it in I actually made it in a coffee maker. Is how I did it, and then I could have a cup of tea. It just doesn't have the caffeine that coffee did, and I liked it a lot. I'll never forget the Filipino guy wanting to have a picture taken at the Temple. Yeah, it happens a lot, like on the ferry. Like those girls, they're like, "Hey, let's take a picture together." It's like, yes, they were so sweet. My gosh, so sweet, man. I really digged it. Chris, you're 1 year older than me. Yeah, man. Yeah, hey, Dustin. Yeah, I hope you make it out here soon, man. Yes, the water festival in Thailand. Yeah. I was looking at that. Yeah. Yeah, the water festival in Thailand looks amazing. I have some stills on my back from a slip disc with a pinched nerve. Okay, yeah. Don't think I can make it. Yeah, I agree. What's his name? Roaming Hogan. He did a video out there. I think it was last year, and he was out there for it. I was like, all right, it's on my calendar. I got to mark it and see. I don't know. It might line up actually. It might line up because my visa does expire in April, and I think it was in April. It's on my calendar to kind of look at again when that comes around. But yeah, I agree. It looks like a good time. Yeah, I'm coming out on the 23rd, so perhaps I'll miss the huge crowds. Yeah, it'd be right after. Okay, wasn't planning on riding in Cebu other than getting out. Yep. Thanks. Yep. The lead with Q Adventures. Absolutely. No, you're right. Q Adventures would be a good option, and I think it's right after that. There is kind of, it trickles off a little pretty fast. But the week after that, there's still a little bit of kind of tourists in town. But if I remember, it did kind of like boom after that. After the final day, things kind of got back to normal pretty quick. But it is crazy. I think the Grab was a delivery service in the United States. Is there a U.S. delivery service? I think there might be. Yeah, I think you're right. Food delivery. I think I saw a video. A police officer. Yep. Yeah, there's Grab in the United States. I'm thinking you're right. I think it was a delivery service. Is there a good tax write-off for YouTubers? Heck, I don't know yet. I'm going to be doing. I've got a guy. I've got a CPA that I've been working with really for the past decade. So he's going to be handling my stuff. Dude, I made less than $3,000 for the year. So I think with that, and then living outside the country for the entire year, I don't think taxes will be a big deal. And I didn't sell any stock either. So I think, yeah, I think my tax is going to be pretty easy this year. Scotty loves the Baby-Maroonies. He does, doesn't he? Yeah, he should be coming back in town. Yeah, I think I'll probably run into him. Have you been able to ride your bike outside the cities and open up on the twisties? Yeah, a little bit. I've got up Trans Central Highway and Road. I need to get out there, and I'm going to go over to probably Toledo here soon. I'm just going to spend a long weekend out there and just kind of chill in the provinces. So a buddy of mine and I are going to go see what kind of trouble we can get into. And so I'll be riding out there and riding. But in general, there's no such really thing as opening up here. That's kind of why, too, bikes 500cc and below are really kind of the best for Philippines riding, just because you don't really get above 40 miles an hour. I mean, hardly ever do I get above 40 miles an hour. It's slower riding. It's kind of chill riding around. So, yeah, opening up can be a little bit hard. Dude, regarding your channel and money, still early days. Your growth is a testament to your brand. Oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I get a little bit discouraged, but yeah, I just got to remind myself too. I'm not gonna lie though. It's like, man, what's going on here? But yeah, I just need to chill. I'm learning patience. But I'm having fun though. I love doing this, and the people I get to meet. I mean, you guys, I love it, man. I love it. I love the friends. I have more friends now than I had my whole life. I love it. I love the channel. And I'll be honest, there's like maybe one guy that I've met that, like, you know what? Not that he's a bad person, just he and I probably don't line up with, right? There's one person. One. Everyone else has been like, gosh, everyone I meet is great. I love meeting the people. It's just, I love it. And that's why I'm kind of really doing it. I wanted to build a network of friends and help each other out. I want to build a community where we help each other out and do that. So and document my experience and that kind of deal. It really does. To this day, it doesn't have any money. I just get excited about, being here, and then really being here full time. And then, envision myself being in a place like this that I buy, whatever, 200,000-300,000 US, right? And then have my daughter come and go to college and that kind of deal, and have friends come. And so that's kind of the lifestyle that I would really love to have out here. And I'll have that. But it does take still earning some money to obtain that. Just because, yeah. I mean, I'm good once I get to 59 and a half. But even then, if I don't have to touch the cash that I'm using to 59 and a half, that's money I could just use to buy a place, right? That makes sense, right? So, yeah. Anyways, did you say 1,400 rent on your place? Kind of high. Yeah, it's 80,000 pesos is what it does cost. So 1,400, right? you guys want to think of this place, it is like the Beverly Hills. I mean, no kidding. I got like Robert De Niro. I got like what's her name, Nicole Kidman. Not them, but I got that level of people who live all around me. So it is very much the Beverly Hills of Cebu. Now, is that what I'm paying? No, and I can't say how much I'm paying. But that's the lifestyle or the place that I'm living in. It's very, very, very high end Cebu. Probably one of the most nicest condos in all of Cebu City, and it is associated, I think, with one of the TV channels here. So there really are. There's Filipino celebrities all around me. I don't know who they are because the names don't make sense to me, but they're all around me here. I'm an ex-cycler carrier. Okay, yeah. So used to be bad drivers. Yep, infrastructure. Cycled London, Paris twice. Oh yeah, London, Amsterdam. Would you recommend cycling in the Philippines? Dean and Iloilo, dude, they got pass. They got designated pass throughout the city. Now it's not like Boulder where I came from. It's not like that area, but it is good, man. It designated 20-something kilometers. My buddy who's moving out there, he's going to get an e-bike. He's going to be riding all over. So yeah, there's actually a lot of cycling here, and a lot of cycling communities. So if you're a big cyclist, Dean, you could get in on those easily. I would get into Facebook and look for those cycling groups and communities. They're here. They are here. Bohol, I think it would be a phenomenal place to be for cycling. Phenomenal. Yeah, you got mountains, you got all kinds of stuff there. I was interested in renting in the mountains behind the city. Yep, let's say cleaner air. But there are no rentals online. I would say get here, Saturn. Get here, check out. Get your feet here. Get wandering around, and then just go up and look. Start looking. It is very much, especially Dumaguete. When I went out there, that's how you get a place. And in the same way, I would say Cebu is similar, where you got to get here and look around. The thing about Cebu is there's so many places, right? But that would do the same thing, Saturn. Just get here and go where you want, rent out an Airbnb and stay for a month, and then use that time to secure your place, right? Have you paid any taxes in the Philippines? I have not paid any taxes. This year is my first tax season here. And I don't really earn, like I said, guys, I think it was like $3,000 for the 2023 is really my earnings. So I really don't earn money, I've been at the Holiday Inn for a week now. Oh, dude, you're out here. Yeah, man. Hey, so there's a group of us today. If you want, we're meeting, and I posted it on the community group. And again, so guys, if you're not a part of the community group, check it out, man. It is where we are coordinating. I'm just opening up that page now. It is where we're coordinating all the events, all that stuff. So it is a private group. I am accepting pretty much anyone, but try to have a profile that has some substance to it, because if it's just kind of weird, I try not to accept those profiles, because and I've had to remove somebody for spamming some stuff. But anyways, consider joining the group, because we coordinate a bunch of events through there. But today at noon, if you're in town, I just posted a link to the community group. If you're in town today at noon, we're meeting at SM City. We're going to go lunch, and we're just kind of wander around. So yeah, if you want more, you should come out, dude. I know you've been around the channel forever. But yeah, come out to SM City at noon if you want. And then we could use that the chat in there to kind of coordinate. But there'll probably be several of us that are there. I think, anyways. I don't know how many people. Stock tip, FXX, not financial advice. Huh? Is that a yeah, let's look that up. FXFX. Yeah. I've been really happy with some Schwab stuff that I got, man. Gosh, last year it was like 22%. Freaking hey, man. I was like, yoo-hoo! That's exactly what I needed. Yes. What's up, Rob? Did I join a gym? Yeah, Fenton. I'm really liking Anytime Fitness. So look, here's the deal about gyms here. They're not as nice as what you're going to have in the West. They're just not. I went to a Planet Fitness in the West, freaking $10 a month for a really, nice gym, 24-hour fitness, all those gyms. the gyms here are a little bit more of your hole in the wall gyms. But I belong to Anytime Fitness. I recommend that gym simply because, like, when I was in Iloilo, there was an Anytime Fitness there, and I go work out, right? Now, but it was a nice gym. It was a decent gym. But there's the one here in IT Park, the Anytime Fitness, is really nice. So I'm a big fan of Anytime Fitness. I think they've got a good facility. I pay around 2,000 pesos a month for that. So let's pull that up. What's 2,000 pesos? Yeah, like 35 bucks. So, it's a little bit, and the value isn't there for what you would get in the West, but it's all right, But yeah, Anytime Fitness, big fan. JC, that one guy, I apologize. I thought, what's your internet? Oh, yeah, no worries. 848, 853. Hey, Chris, doing a fantastic job helping others. I have a compromised immune system. I thought I had COVID, but it's severe flu. Just got out of the hospital 2 hours back. Oh, dude, man, that's rough, Rob. Yeah, I hope you get feeling better, man. I've actually had some bugs here too. My body is really getting used to the bugs that are here. And there was a bug, I don't know what it was, but something was going around here a couple of weeks ago. So many people were sick. And it was flu, right? Fever, all that. I had a high fever. I had like 102-degree fever for almost 24 hours. Oh, like my skin hurt. That was Christmas Eve. I was really sick, really, really super sick. I'm actually really thankful Joe was here to kind of help me out. So, yeah, I was super sick. What's the name of that development you're in? It's 32 Sanson, Rockwell. Love it. JY Square area. But for the first-time guy, it might not be the best, right? The security here is super, super secure. Like, you can't even get in the grounds, man. You can't even get in it. Badge access on the elevator. It is super, super secure. So yeah, probably more secure than Selenia. And Selenia was really secure too, though. I do, and that is kind of it. So there's pros and cons to that, right? It's nice when you're in a super secure place. You feel safe. You can keep money in your place, right? You don't have to really worry about, like, not a ton of money, but you keep cash money around and that kind of deal and locked up. But when you're but if you're dating, it's a little, they kind of, especially in Selenia, when you think about it too, they, in any of them, they really don't want a revolving door of different women kind of coming in and out of the property, right? So if you're dating, these types of properties can be a little more of a challenge. So you just want to be mindful of that, right? Chris, Rob, you remember me? Chris, got you on the community page too. All right, Rob. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The community page, I'm actually really excited about that. A lot of guys are on there contributing, making, helping each other out. I like that. And the other thing too is it really was a space I wanted to do events, and then just schedule kind of meetups and stuff like that. And like today, right, we're doing an impromptu get together, SM City at noon. All that stuff can get coordinated there. What I was discovering is I was, I do like meeting people, as I said, but I was meeting, whatever, Bob on Monday and Tim on Tuesday and Willie on Wednesday. And then, it just was, I was meeting people all the time. So I was like, oh, let's, set up a place where we can coordinate this a little bit better. Mondays is actually our normal, we do Mondays at whatever, 2:00 at Starbucks. And by the way, we're going to move that around a little bit just because the Starbucks there is so busy. But that's, the community page is taken off where exactly how I want it to be. And everyone's been great there. Really been enjoying that. Saturn, would you say motorbike taxis are much safer than driving a scooter yourself? Yes, absolutely. You're dealing with somebody who's a professional driver, yeah, I would say it's safer than driving yourself. They're familiar with the rules of the road. They're definitely, yeah. Yes, got you. You changing your name to Kingpin Chris. Didn't know you were in the Ivy League. Yeah. This place is epic, guys. It is absolutely amazing. Yeah. Michael Johnson, Music to the Motion. Howdy, man. What's up, brother? Yeah. Yes, there's a community group. Not to blow up your head, but you look like you're losing weight. Yes. Yeah. I've lost, I don't know, right? I need to go weigh myself. But I started running again. I started working out in the gym. And then, of course, I got sick, right? On Christmas Day. Yeah, I feel good. I feel like I've lost 117 pounds this month. So I feel good. I'm taking your advice, Chris. Getting my ducks in order. Yep. Geo Paul, old dog. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man. I think Geo did a live. I think he did. I don't know. I think he did one the other day. Those were. It was this, right? People asking questions. People thought, and that was huge for me. And then but Rike too, man. Rike is crushing it right now. I feel with really good content. I still watch Rike right now, and his advice is just I'm digging it, man. I'm really digging his stuff. It's helping me out with navigating the dating world. The gym at the waterfront is nice. Okay, all right, yeah, all right, great. I would like to check that out. 2,000 pesos seems high for a gym in the Philippines. Yes, the Philippines going must be well off. Yeah, I think so, Benny. Yeah. And another great place to meet people, right, is the gym. But you're right, 2,000 pesos is high. Some services you're going to pay a little bit more too. Earlier I was just kind of thinking about internet. If that was another one, what is my internet? 1,600 pesos. Yeah, it's only $30. So, but yeah, gyms are one of those things you actually pay more for and get less out of. Honestly, I would love to have a Planet Fitness like Planet Fitness in the West here for $10-20 a month. You kidding me? That would be awesome. But they're not here. They're really small. They're tiny. They're dim. They don't have aircon. Yeah, it's an adjustment. I made out like a king on the most recent Kano dividends. Yeah, man. Guys, I got lucky as crap. It's one of the reasons why I'm here. So we filed for divorce. Was that January 2020? January 2019? Hell, I can't remember what year. Right before the pandemic. We filed for divorce. So I had to sell my house and pay all this stuff off, right? My house was pretty close to being paid off. I was, been there, whatever, since 2008 and paying extra every month. And so anyways, got a divorce, sold my house, sitting on a bunch of cash, and COVID hits. Well, what happens in March of, was it 2020? The market just freaking dives. Dude, I moved that money into the market. Moved, not a lot, because I didn't know how much the divorce was going to cost, but I moved that money over. I'm like, what's going on here? This is crazy, right? And I'm up 70%. I joke. It's part of the reason why I still get along with my ex-wife, because all that money I had to give her, I made right back. So I'm like, Durr. And that's how I'm living here, is living really kind of off that cash until I get to, and the other part too, with my 401k, I've been maxing out my 401k for probably 10, 15 years. So that's kind of when I hit 59 and a half, I'll move to that. But yeah, man, the markets have been doing really well. Although I think 2024 could be pretty dicey, right? Election years can be pretty bad. So we'll see. Hopefully it does well. Have you looked at the new resort development in Mocktown called? I have not looked at that, man. I'll have to check that out. There are some new develops here. There's one in Mandawi City. I can never remember the name of it. Maldali or whatever the heck it is. But there's one here. I think it's a Singapore property that has my eye. I'm getting my contacts together. I have a friend moved to Cebu, not going to wing it and fly there first, then decide if I want to move. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. Do a scouting trip. Do at least one scouting trip, guys. Come out here, spend 2 weeks, and don't do the touristy thing, right? Come and stay and ask yourself 2 questions. How am I being treated? Like, how are people treating me? And what's those interactions like with other people? And then the other question you want to ask every day is, could I live here? Yeah. Yeah, good for you, man. Yes, concern for my health. Yeah, no, coming out here has been a huge improvement on my health for sure. Yeah, RX. All right, let's look at that. I hear you. I have those all the time. I don't really care about them, honestly. It's life, man. It's life. Okay. Yeah. Oh, up 6% today. What's year to date look like, or 1 year? Ooh, 72%. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty good. That is really good, man. Good for you, brother. I also hear Bitcoin. I don't really. So my strategies are real simple, right? My dad, I learned a lot from him, and I just do index funds. I do market funds. I do Schwab stuff. I look at low maintenance stuff, right? And that's kind of what I do. Really, supposedly safe stuff, as safe as you can kind of get. So that's kind of been, and that's really, I got two funds that I'm just kind of all, and then I got my retirement stuff, which is completely separate. But yeah, good for you, man. Yeah, that looks really 72% for a year. Well, the girls there, I think that it's odd. You bring along protection actors. Grass, yes, you bring along. I've never been there. Sort of feel most girls go bare with any guy on site. Yeah. So there's a couple. You're right there. You're right. And I think that there's some religious stuff there. They're very, what's that? There's some religious things where they don't believe in that kind of protection or contraception, but so that there is a factor there. And then a lot of them just don't enjoy that. As far as the condom, but you're right. And then the other part too, for Westerners, you can a hard time finding ones that actually fit you because they're smaller. So yeah, yep. No, I think you're right on. On the flip side, you could probably hire a personal trainer. Yes, yeah. I don't know. So David was talking about his personal trainer there. I can't remember what he said he pays. The other thing that I got, guys, is I got food delivery. Let me show you this real quick. I got a meal service. So it's 200 pesos for, I'll show you the container here. I'm really digging this a lot. 200 pesos delivered. And it's a meal delivery service. So it's rice. I've got my rice. I've got some cucumbers and some chicken. And 200 pesos for a container of it. And really healthy eating. And because I'm not much of a cook, I don't really cook at all. A little bit. I'll make myself breakfast and stuff like that. And I'll do crock pot stuff every now and then. But this has been really great too. So if anyone's here in the Philippines, actually I should post their information on the community page. But really, I dig that. And she'll have it delivered right to the door. So you can get. So she's a nutritionist that was over at Anytime Fitness. So she makes those meals too. Yep. Yep. I only saw one video, your ELO trip. Yeah, I just did one, Mr. Q. Only did the one video so far. I've got maybe one or two more videos that are coming out from that. Yep. I've cut back a little bit on my content. I don't know if you guys realize that, but I don't have as many videos coming out. I'm not sure. I'm really looking at what do I want to do. Do I want to do one video a week? Or do I want to do two? It's a great question. Maybe you guys let me know. What do you want to see? So there's a lot of conversation about exhausting your audience, right? Like putting too much out and then people just don't watch it and they end up watching none of your videos. So I don't want to do that. So there's a kind of, do I want to do 2 videos a week or 1 video a week is kind of where I'm debating a little bit. And now that I'm by myself, I really do have time to do 2, but I'm also really enjoying kind of focusing more on health and fitness and just doing the 1 video a week. So, but yes, I've got some more videos coming. Speaking of working out, how's your daily recovery? I'm finding mine is shite, but I'll get there. You do anything for post-workout recovery? I'm on a creatine load cycle at the moment. Yeah, creatine is I love creatine. Huge fan. And I just get mine from, I think I have, I just do an Amazon bulk creatine. And that helps out for me a ton too, where'd it go? Oh yeah. So creatine for me has been huge. I've been a big fan of it forever. I can't even remember. This is what it may be $30 for, I think, a pound. I don't know. But that's all I take. That's the only supplement I take. And I like it because for recovery, I don't get sore. Like I can work out hard and I don't get sore. Now you get a little bit of bloated and you got to worry about hydration. But I'm a huge fan of creatine. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah, it makes, I feel it. I feel thick, like everywhere. And not to be, look, I really try to keep the channel PG-13, but it let's see, how do I want to say this? I don't know how to say it, but it loads in your muscles, right? So your muscles kind of swell and expand everywhere. So it can also be as a male enhancer. How about that, right? I mean, seriously, I notice a difference with creatine as a male enhancer. It really is that. And I just look, my daughter is on here, my sons, my family. My family is on here, so I try to, you know, I try to keep it family related or family rated. Yeah, I gotta run. Yeah, man. Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Thanks for being here, man. Yes, that place, brother. Yes, Madani Bay is high on my list. Although, my one of my buddies was saying he doesn't recommend it, so I got to figure out what's going on there. Like a good friend of mine, you know, you met him, John. So he's like, so anyway, I got to find out the backstory on that. But that's kind of disappointing because that looks like a really, really beautiful property there. So we'll see. Yeah. We had plans to move in 2025 while waiting for the twins to graduate from elementary. Oh, great, man. Yeah, it's a really interesting topic there about moving families out here. I think it's awesome. You know, my daughter's getting ready to graduate high school, and when she comes out, I'd love for her to go to school out here. She expressed the interest of being a nurse. I mean, some of the best nurses in the world are trained right here in this country, right here in this city. So yeah, man, really, really, really great. Yeah. Good night, Rob. Sleep well, man. Take care. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice, man. Can you get the nutritionist to come cook for? Can you get a nutrition? Yeah, Benny, I'm sure you can get. Dude, bust me up. Oh, yes, I'm sure you can get a nutritionist to come cook for you. Oh, gosh. Isn't this great, man? Isn't this great? I mean, this is our life. Oh, yes. These are good lives. These are good lives. You make the live about viewer questions instead of going off on tangent. Yeah, well, look, but there's some entertainment, I think, in a lot of those other lives too. I mean, really, right? I mean, we're all here doing us. That's the thing about YouTube. You got to do you, whatever that is, right? I mean, really, you got to do you. I know. Too much sugar and creatine. Interesting. Maybe. I don't know, right? I don't know. I do know for me physically, I love how I feel creatine. I feel like I feel strong again. I feel vital. I don't fatigue in my workouts as quickly. So I feel like I get a better muscle exhaustion, muscle exercise. I like how I feel. Now, like you got to be careful with water. Like you got to be hydrated. But other than that, I'm a huge fan of creatine, and I take it pretty consistently for a year. There's also some studies I think on brain, like what it does for your brain and resources there. And I don't know, man. I really like it a lot. I feel like it's got a lot of benefits. You know, it's naturally, granted, at the levels that we're taking it is a lot more than what's natural. But yeah, I like it. About to fall asleep. Yeah, Dean. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yep. Thanks for being here, man. That was more than I wanted to know about creatine. I'm sorry. Sorry, Christopher. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. I hope there's no sword fighting. Well, it's not like that. It's not like a Viagra or whatever where it does that. So like creatine will store in your muscles. So you know that is a muscle, and and then it kind of it really expands your muscles. So and it makes them fuller, right? Your muscles. You can get a little bit bloated from it too. I feel like it's a combination of bloat and this almost like a hardness to it as far as your muscles and creatine and all your muscles, right? So yeah, if that makes sense. I noticed a difference without a doubt. I noticed a difference. I almost became diabetic a year ago, and I looked great, but in terrible health. Okay. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah. I have to watch mine. I was getting up there too. Like I was pushing 225. That's the most I've ever weighed. So yeah, I'm hoping to get back down a little bit. How much is a taxi from your place to Ayala Center? I'm gonna get some more water. And a taxi from my place to Ayala Center is right around Hold on. So a taxi, yeah, right around 100 pesos, I would say. Yep, 100 pesos, right around. And then I can get a motorbike taxi for probably half that. Half that, and get a nice motorcycle taxi. All right, we're all cut up on comments. What else are we talking about, guys? How long have I been on? 2 hours? Wow. Yeah. I guess we could. Yeah. Anything else anyone's got? I should get some breakfast. Yeah. 150, 100 so pesos. Yes. Still on for lunch. Yeah, I'm meeting some great guys, man. It's so fun. It's so fun meeting guys who are fresh off the boat, man. I dig it. Because I just see where I've been, right? Yeah. Is November a rainy season? It can be, Charlie. So if you look at the rainy season, I think it's the burn months. So September, October, November, December is officially kind of the rainy season, but you can get rain anytime. The main thing just to watch for is typhoons. Yeah, since we got some time, let's look at this, right? Let's look at windy. I'm going to pull up an app here that we can look at together. Since we got time, let's look at it. I want to look at that's rain, wind. Yeah, so let's see if I can share this out. Let's stop. Let's present. Screen share, and we'll do windy share. All right. So this is one of the apps that I use to help me navigate the weather in the Philippines. It is windy.com. Let's see what we're looking at here. You guys see all that? All right, good. Yep, you can see all that. So it is windy.com. Really big fan of it. I actually subscribe to their premium service. But so if you're looking at here, so we're here down in Cebu City, and here's the dangers when you got big tropical depressions that are coming off this area, the ocean here, and then smash right in. But most of them, what they do, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. All right, we got thrown up. So here's Cebu again. But most of them, what they do is they come in and slam here around Samar and then cruise all the way up through Luzon up to, through this area. Very, very rarely do you get the big storms that kind of come through here in Cebu. We can actually change this. Let's look at wind, so maybe a little bit more color. So yeah, you can see kind of here the path of stuff that happens that runs through. We can zoom out. But that's your typical weather. That can, and really what you want to look for. You really want to keep your eye over this body of water here, just to kind of see, is there anything circular? Is there any low pressures that are building here? Because that's where the danger is going to come from in there. But, the rain has really been nothing. It hasn't been a big deal at all. I have, this rainy season, I was anticipating or expecting a lot more rain, and it just wasn't. There was nothing. It was really minimal. I have no experience where the weather got in the way of my day-to-day activity. Sometimes, but not hardly at all. Yeah, just plan. I would say come anytime, Charlie. Just keep an eye out. So the burn months are the months where it's you can have a tropical depression come through. And then too, like if you're coming in the burn months, probably avoid Luzon and don't go to Leyte. But if you're coming here to Cebu, you're going down to Dumaguete or Iloilo or Davao City, I would say any time of year. The nice thing about the burn months, the rainy season, the nice thing about the burn months and the rainy season, it could be a little bit cooler because you've got maybe some overcast day, right? So, but coming here in Cebu City, I would say come anytime. Other than, I would avoid Sinulog unless you want to be here for Sinulog. So I avoid January, and I would avoid Easter. Those are 2 times I would probably avoid coming to the Philippines, coming to Cebu, unless you want to be around the Sinulog event. But Easter is another one where the city just dies. Like everyone goes home and there's nobody around. Like places close and that deal. So it's just kind of. I knew a guy that just moved here, Dan. He was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Easter," and I was actually over in. Excuse me. I was in I was over in Brockeye for Easter, and it was dead yet because everyone was on Brockeye. So, yeah, yeah. So that's what I'd say. There really isn't a bad time to come, other than other than probably January for Synlog, and then Easter would be the two times I would personally avoid. What's your ideal body shape? Bodybuilder, swimmer, fitness trainer, anyone you wish to emulate? I don't. Yeah, it's interesting. I like the way you say it, like body shape, because a lot of people are fixated on weight. I don't care what I weigh, right? I just want to feel good. I want to feel vital. I want to feel strong, right? And the way I'm kind of built, and I'm a stocky kind of dude. So I like, that's kind of what I would, build some more strength. I like to have a little more cardiovascular, a little more endurance. So the running is helping out with that. So yeah, I'd say more of a fitness trainer out of the body styles that you're listing there is more what it's easy for me to, well, I'm easy to do a bodybuilder, but I want to be, yeah, more of a fitness trainer would be what I'd want, what I'm kind of building, more of a like cross training between running and strength training. I think strength training is very vital for us as we get older. And then of course running or like a swimming. I do swimming also. Like I'll put on a mask and snorkel and fins, and I'll swim in the pool, which is, guys, if you're not like a lap swimmer or have no idea how to lap swim, that is some of the best advice I've gotten in a long time. Like, Chris, go buy a snorkel and a mask and then swim, because then you don't have to figure out breathing and that all crap, right? Just go swim in the pool. It's hard. It's hard. So I do a lot of swimming too. And with my accident and my injuries that I sustained, my core is just jacked up. So there's still a lot of scar tissue there for me to work through. But yeah. So, and swimming really helps with that because it's a lot of core stuff. So yeah, great question. Yeah, you're in Galveston. All right. Yeah, Galveston, Texas. Forecast the next week might be, wow, below freezing. Wow, that's cold for Galveston. Huh. Yeah. So do you do your visas online now? I have, Benny. The last two visas I've done online. Yeah. They email it to you. Yeah, they might be in trouble now. It's so easy. You can do it from the freaking couch in your underwear, and you're not paying extra fees. It's so easy. And you have electronic copy, which to me I'd rather have. I don't have freaking paper to fumble around. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the online visa. Really digging it. Really digging it. Ah, yes. Let's see. Raider Reborn. Are you dating again? I'm not dating anyone. Yeah, it's really interesting around that, right? If I look at who I've been in the dating world, I'll date somebody and then be single for a couple of years. I'm really trying to break that up. I really want to get back out on the horse, so to speak. Yeah, I'm looking at that, but I'm not dating anyone now. I'm not. But I'm actually looking to maybe do some experiments with some online dating sites. So Kristen Filipina reached out to me when Joe and I were dating. I think it was back in, I don't remember, October, September. They reached out to me and said, hey, we want to do a partnership with you. We like your channel. We like your content. We'd like to do some kind of, partnership. They offered me a little bit of a salary or whatever, and then with an affiliate link and stuff like that. And I was like, guys, look, I'm dating Joe. I don't really feel like I can represent or talk about a dating site because I just don't have any experience with it. So I was like, I kind of turned them down for a little bit. I have an affiliate link. I just never posted it. But I reached back out to them and said, look, I'm single. I wouldn't, as I'm looking to maybe do some dating sites, is because, like I said, I don't really get out and date much, left to my own kind of way. So I did reach out to them. I haven't heard back from them, but basically what I told them is like, look, I don't want any kind of salary or any kind of stipulation on the content that I want to create. However, if you want to give me free access to your site, and then I can, meet people on it and talk about your site, I'd be willing to do that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So there might be something going on along those lines as far as dating. But right now, I'm just kind of chilling, just kind of taking it easy. So, yeah, nothing in the works. There's another woman I actually met at church. So I've been going to a church here for a while, and she introduced herself. She looked very, very interesting. So we'll see on that. But there's one person who's caught my eye. Yeah. Recently. Any comment on Park Point across from Tier 2? T2. Any comment on Park Point? What is Park Point? Park Point. Oh, Park Point Residence. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Are they right across the street? Yeah, I don't know anything about those, brother. I see them though. Yeah. See photos. Where are they? Oh, they're right attached to the mall. Yeah, I think they seem to be fine. I think they're super expensive, but I'm sure they're nice. Yeah, I didn't know about them, but yeah, I've walked by them a lot. I think they're nice but expensive. I mean, you're right there at the mall. It would be great, incredibly convenient. I think you go down the stair. I think that's where the girl that I was just mentioning, she might live there. But I think you go right down the elevator, and you're in a grocery store. I think it'd be really convenient, but I think it's super expensive. Philip, hey, just checking in. Hope you're doing well. Did you actually make a New Year resolutions? No, I didn't make any New Year's resolutions, but I am, committed to my health and fitness and continuing my life here in the Philippines. So yeah, hope you're good there, man. What's your skin care protocol like? Can you find sunscreen? Why ask? The sunscreen here does have a lot of whitening stuff in it. So what I do typically, if I'm going to be out in the sun, like extended period of time, I just cover up. Like I got long sleeve stuff I'll put on. Like if I'm riding my motorcycle for hours and stuff like that, I'll wear hats. I got neck stuff that like a cool rag that also is UV. I cover up versus put stuff on. I've never been a guy that sunscreen on my skin, my body just feels gross. Like I don't know what, it makes me hot. I never liked it. I like to cover up. If I'm going to be out for a while, if I'm out for a little bit, I don't necessarily worry too much about it. But if I'm out, like I'm going to be out a lot for Synalog, I have a tendency to cover up. What's the reputation that Westerns already have? Great question, Benny. Do you think it would scare away Filipinos if they knew you were taking cream? Dude, you're hilarious, man. So, but this is a great question because it's something we got to be careful about. So we have a good reputation, but we don't, right? So there's some deserved, there's some deserved caution that Filipinos really have when dating a Westerner. They're like, oh, is he here for fun? Is he are you a tourist? Like if you're just here kind of touring around, good luck, right? Good luck finding a good girl. But if you're here to live, it's one of those things where you just kind of have to, it's a slow roll and a slow approach. So you just got to be careful and cautious and not come off as a chick boy or, a player, that kind of deal. So, but yeah. Yeah. But I think it's kind of a thing for them where they're excited, they're intrigued, but yet also concerned, right? Would be what I would think a lot of Filipinos think about Westerners. Like, yes, they would love to date a Westerner. They have things that they think about Westerners, right? Which are probably true in a lot of ways. But they're also like, they don't want to date a guy who's just there to date and leave. So they want a relationship. It was one of the interesting things about my last relationship dynamic, honestly, is that, there was almost like this expectation of marriage, even though for me, it was just dating to see to that. They date to really just get married. And they don't have, like, if you end it, it's like, well, wait a second, I thought we were going to get married. And you're like, no, it's, you know what I mean? It's so that is a really different dynamic that is here, if that makes sense. Right. But great. Yeah. Really funny. Damn, 2 hours. I'm getting hungry. Speaking of home delivery, I just ordered pizza. I know, right? Yeah, I should probably get some breakfast here, but this is fun. I missed out on last live, and guys, I love these lives. I like interacting with you guys. I think the questions are great. I used to repurpose my lives for shorts, and maybe I'll redo that again. But yeah, I really get a lot out of the lives myself. I enjoy them. After the motorcycle crash, how do you feel about scooter traffic chaos over there? Is the scar tissue in a joint? Take care, Chris. Yeah, no. Yeah, it took me a long time to get back on a bike again, honestly. And I was terrified the first couple times I was riding here. the fact that it's so much slower speeds, I think, is a big factor for me, and helpful in getting that. I don't ride around the city at all, and I think that's part of the reason why too, is I don't. I'm still a little bit fearful of that, and you just don't need to. You can get around so easily. Parking's a pain in the butt. I don't have a way to secure my helmet, so I'm carrying my helmet everywhere. So riding my motorcycle in the city is kind of a pain. I do love riding in the mountains. I do love the coastal stuff. I love riding on some of the less traffic islands like Camotes and Bohol, things like that. I love motorcycle riding. It's a passion of mine. Obviously, I almost died, and I'm back riding again. So I do love it. I do avoid the city just because, one, I don't need to, and I feel like there's risk there. So, but yeah, great question. Is the scar tissue joint? Well, so I had a C-section. My abdomen was cut open, and I had a plate. I wonder if I could share. I'll look at. I think it's going to take me too much time to really do it effectively now, because I would share my X-ray. But I've got a plate in the front, and then I got two screws that go. I got three screws, two on one side, one on the other, that go into my lower spine for my hips, because I broke both of my hips. So yeah, there's a screws holding the bones together on both hips that go right into my lower spine, and then a plate in the front that holds the hips together. My hips they were totally freaking destroyed. So the scar tissue is around the incision in my abdomen, which is, whatever. It's probably a scar like this long. It kind of looks like a big smiley face. And then I also have two scars on the sides, like both cheeks have scars like that from where they put the screws in. So yeah, so I still feel not as much, but like popping around the scar tissue. But yeah, I'm trying to work through it a little bit. But physically, honestly, for given what I went through, I'm very, very lucky. I'm lucky to be walking. I'm lucky to not be paralyzed. I'm lucky to be alive. Very much lucky to be alive for that accident. The paramedics who were on scene, they didn't think. I mean, they were like, "How are you alive? And how did you not sustain more damage?" Guys, I had a car. I was doing like 50. This car pulled right out in front of me. We were coming up to a street light. There was like 15 or so cars. So there's a long line on the left, and me, there was nobody. I mean, well, there was one car, but the light had just turned green. So I'm coming through here, and I come to the end of the traffic. So I got 15 car lengths in front of me. The car towards the end pulls right out in front of me from a stop, and it's a hatchback. I go into the back of the hatch. The glass shatters all around me, and then I come down and I land on the ground. So, I mean, I was doing almost 50. So I was moving, and just broke both my hips, and so I was it was rough, man. It was a rough go for that year, and like I said, though, in hindsight, it got me here, though. It did. It really did. It woke me up to, we just never know, and I'm tired of living in a hateful society. I want to be somewhere where I'm happier. Try Peanut Love. Yeah, all right, I'll look at that. My buddy said he's using Bumble, so yeah, somebody wants to meet me. Somebody wants to meet me on Bumble. I don't know, man. I do. So here's the thing. I did realize that I need to step out of that. And I do want to date. I am concerned, although, about dating. And I've learned a ton. I like so much about dating. And there's so much I want to share, but I can't right now. And I will, but I need to give it some time. Before I feel like I can really share the amount that I've learned. But I feel like it's very, very important. One of the comments that my friend said to me, he said, "Chris, I now understand why foreigners get scammed. You can't see it." And I was like, whoa, I was just so taken aback by that. And he's right. There's a lot I want to say about it, but I can't yet. I cannot, and I won't. Because I don't. Anyways, so I am definitely looking to start dating, and really excited about that. Yes, brother Chris, what's up, Gary? How's it going? Yes, Bliss, best. Yes, yeah, I agree. Sweet girl. I don't know anything about her. there has been some mutual interest there. So, but a very high class and wealthy Filipino. So, so yeah, yeah. So guys, look, this is a completely different dating environment here. We go from a place of scarcity and really non-existence to a place where we're highly sought after. So it is it's very different here, and we just have to navigate that with some caution. Yes, why are you tripping, Audi, Benny? Why the hell would sunscreen have white? Yes, I know, right? Dude, it's really common here. A lot of the skin lotion has whitening agents in there to make the skin whiter. Because one of the things is to have white skin here. It's very sought after. It's one of the reasons why they like us is because we have white skin. So yeah, that's why they put it in there. They put whitening agents in lotions and sunscreens and a lot of that stuff. Any plans to travel outside the Philippines? I'm probably Thailand at some point. Thailand for sure, right? Definitely Thailand, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Lot of areas here. Yes, holy smokes. Yes, for crash injuries. Damn. I was jacked up, man. I was jacked up. Jacked up. Yes. Hey, Tom. How's it going? Yeah, BJ, some deodorants also have whitening. Yes. Yep. A lot of whitening. Yeah, deodorant is one of those things I kind of struggled with, honestly, is trying to find it. I like the Degree stick deodorant. Man, you cannot find that stuff anywhere. It's roll-on and aerosol. I haven't used that stuff since the 80s, but that's what you find here. It's really interesting. Yeah, I don't want to inference. It's still a Philippines to me. Yeah, I don't want to overemphasize stereotype Filipina as a Filipino myself. Take it easy. Essentially, the concept of dating is not the same here as it is here in the West. Take your time. Yes. Yeah. Honestly, the stereotypes of Filipinos. I think us Westerners have a good idea of that. Was not a shock, right? I was just kind of thinking about it. Yes and no. I mean, there was some shocks about the whole kind of clubs and Mango Avenue and crap like that, right? But as far as the everyday Filipina, I had a good understanding, I feel, of how conservative they are, and they are. They're super conservative. It reminds me of the Midwest. It reminds me of like Salt Lake City, girls with puffy dresses and that kind of stuff. And maybe that was a little. I've just been here a year now, so I feel like they're conservative. But and then yeah, they're not into casual dating and that kind of deal, right? But look, we don't have a crystal ball, right? We can't. You gotta date to know if this is someone you're compatible with. You gotta hang out with them, right? You really do. You can't. And I think that was one of the things that's really interesting at it is you date somebody to see if it's going to be a good fit for a long-term relationship, and then you see it and you're like, you know what, this is not a good fit. It's time for us to go our separate directions. And not that anyone is better or worse or any of that stupid stuff, right? But you're just like, this doesn't go together, right? So yeah, but I feel like yeah, there's just no room for that, almost even at that, right? Like like once you start dating, it's like, yeah, this isn't to see if marriages work. This is just to kill time until we get married. It was really interesting to kind of see that play out. But yeah, no, yeah, really interesting. I remember seeing your X-ray. Yes, I remember you don't hobble around. Yes, like I was. Thankfully, I've been recently. Yeah, so it's really interesting too. The gentleman Taco is on here. He's not a surgeon, but he works with those exact screws and bolts, the titanium stuff that was put in my body. So he works with surgeons quite a bit, and it was fascinating to hear him talk about the procedure that was done. He's like, Chris, this is so rare. He says because both your hips were broke, they had to screw them into your spine. So my hips are actually kind of sealed right to my spine, which there's not a lot of movement there anyways. So it wasn't a big deal, but it's a very rare procedure which was done. And of course, whatever, I'm an idiot IT guy. I'm not a medical professional, so I didn't know. But from his medical point of view, it was really awesome and interesting to hear that. And I am, dude. I'm lucky. I am really, really lucky in many ways. In many ways. Yeah, second chance. Yep, what a blessing. Taking advantage of the gift. Yeah, absolutely. No, I am. I feel extremely fortunate in so many ways to be here, to be alive, to living a life. But it did take that to kind of wake me up to be like, oh crap, I need to do something different with my life. Based on your conversation, you mentioned your Social Security. I thought I mentioned the concept of disability that pays more than Social Security. You clearly have an injury. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah. 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 The Canadian couple, yes, yeah. Mike and Bianca, right? Canadian couple logging have separated. I did see that. They have different interests, like you and Joe. Yep. A few logging companies in the Philippines have split up. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I've seen that too as well. I saw that. I was actually trying to hook up with Michael because I was up in Iloilo. I sent him, made some comments, excuse me, on his channel. Yeah, no, I've heard that as well. I have a trip planned to Dominican Republic in June, but then plan to come there ASAP after. Yeah, man. Nice, Chris. Yeah, I hope things go well in the Dominican Republic. Church key, religious background, just going with the local flow. I think just going to the local flow, Jeff, spirituality has kind of always been there for me. I just never really found a conversation that worked for me. I got turned off by a lot of the conversations. But it's always kind of been there for me, and it's always kind of been of a missing, but I like it. I like it. I like going every now and then. Just in the States, like I said, I got offended by a lot of churches. I wanted a conversation that included everybody. That was one of the things that I had the LDS church, come by, and I asked them, I was like, well, what's your, I had some gay friends, right? I was like, well, what's your view on it? I want a conversation that includes people. I don't like conversations around spirituality that cast people out just because of whatever preference, right? I don't know. So anyways, I do like going to church and that. And I do feel it's a great community. I like surrounding myself in communities that are, people are about great things. And that's one of the things I really like about it too, right? But I'm still in that inquiry. Royal Enfield, Himalayan 450, man. Yes. I just need to start making some money. Oh, look, I'm getting down to where I might need to sell some stock. I've got I don't even know if I've got a year's worth of cash yet. So I got to make some decisions around that. And I'm just really, 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 I don't want to sell anything. I want that crap to grow so I can get a place in like 4 or 5 years. I'm really committed to doing that. Maybe I need to go back to work, do maybe some IT gigs for a little bit, make a little bit of cash. But I would love to buy that bike. That bike is amazing. That bike is going to be perfect. It is the bike that should have been out there 4 years ago. As everyone's making these big freaking 1250 GSs and, Tanner A1200s and, even the Tanner A700, right? Everyone's making these freaking Mondo adventure bikes. Give me something that's lighter and smaller. Give me something that's beginner friendly. I don't need freaking 100 horsepower on the dirt. What are you kidding me? Give me something that's practical. That's that bike. That bike you could ride anywhere, man. That is a bike. You just go anywhere on that bike. That bike is going to sell. It is going to sell. It's going to be a Mondo. I mean, if Royal Enfield would freaking sponsor me and I would love to shoot that all around the Philippines. You kidding me? Travel all around this country in that bike? I would love to do that. Yes, I would love to get it. I have some financial concerns right now. Not that I'm worried about my money. I gotta be careful. I gotta get to 59 and a half. That's where my money's at, right? Yeah. You don't marry a Filipino, you marry the family. Yeah, I like that, Jim. I don't have a problem with that. Actually, it was one of the things I liked about this country is how you have this family, you have this connection. I love that, man. I don't mind. Now, granted, it can't be a financial burden either, right? But I love the idea of family. I love the idea of community. I love that. You kidding me? I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Also, as a Baptist and not Catholic, are there Baptists? Yeah, I think, there are. They're not very common, but there are other denominations here in Cebu City for sure. for sure. How long ago was your crash? What, 2 years ago? Almost 2 years ago to date, right? Shit, I'm bad with that kind of crap. Let me think about this. So I was here, yeah, 2 years ago today, or in a couple of days it'll be 2 years. Yeah. Gamer, what's up, brother? What's up, man? Yes, my own Magananu Maga, right? You're over there, right? I'm 6 months younger than you. I'll be retiring in Cebu in November. Yeah, congratulations, dude. Really, congratulations. So cool, right? Good for you, man. Good for you. Philippines is a paradise for the old man. I mean, it's a paradise for all of us, man. I think it's a paradise for everyone. I mean, yes, it comes across as a single man's paradise, and rightfully so in a lot of ways, right? No question. No question. But a family come over here. I've got a lot of families on this channel too. Families come over here and hang out. If you want a happy environment, Philippines is it, man. It is. It's a good place. Catholicism is predominantly there. Yep. I was raised Catholic, but quite professing to be years ago as a non-denominational Christian. Yeah, that's kind of right where I'm at. I'm in that conversation. Honestly, the thing I like about Thailand, I would love to look more into Buddhism and look into that kind of conversation also. I'm open, right? I think whatever conversation makes you great is what I'm about. I don't really, I'm not a big judge people on that kind of stuff. I think, yeah, like I said, whatever makes you great. I had a bunch of guys that I worked with who were LDS, whatever, right? So yeah, I have no problem with any of that. I had to sell off some stocks last month, but my goal is to keep reinvesting to one day live off of dividends. Yeah, a great time to sell, right? Things have been up. Things have been really up. So I'm really excited about my investments. That was one of the kind of key factors for me being here is I needed to make like 8% or so on some of this stuff, especially early on, because that's where a bulk of my assets are right now that I'm going to be living off of. So I'm really kind of in one of my stocks that went up like 20%. So I'm really excited about those investments and how well they've been going. So, all right, guys. Well, we're going almost 3 hours. I think I'm going to kind of bounce out, maybe get some breakfast real quick. It's so nice to be back on lives. I really appreciate everyone being here and participating, hanging out. I do. I love it. I love it. The real question, has Jehovah's Witness found you there yet? No, but I do see the LDS boys wandering around. And there is actually a big, really beautiful LDS temple here. So I have seen that. I haven't seen any of the Jehovah's Witness. I'm agnostic, spiritually, I'm more Buddhist. Yeah, I think I'm right around where you're at. Yeah, yep. And it might be a little bit of a problem in a wife kind of deal, but yeah, looking into derivative income from ETFs. Yeah. I gotta be honestly. I'm not very. I need to take my own advice and hire a professional because I'm really just winging it, and I shouldn't be winging it. So, yeah, there's some things I need to do around that myself. I mean, I've been lucky. I've been really lucky. Like I said, with the 2009, when I bought, March 19th, 2009 is when I bought, and then that was the bottom of the market. I got super lucky, but I could be doing so much better if I just hired a professional to kind of coach me through. Because I met a guy yesterday. He's like, yeah, I got this stuff popping off in a year. I got this stuff popping off in 3 years. I mean, he's just really effectively and safely managing his investments for, this kind of interim state. He's very similar boat to me. Like he's waiting to get to 59 and a half kind of deal. So I'm not doing it the best way. So, yeah. Buddhism is more of a philosophy than a religion. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know it's Thailand, right? And some of the Buddhist temples, spectacular. How's the grub in the Philippines? Non-issue. I think there's a lot of sugar, a lot of fried foods. I think if you are a vegan or something like that, you might struggle here. People say it's not as good as Thai food or even Vietnamese food. I don't really have a problem with the food here. I eat whatever. I have guy nose, and guy taste buds. So whatever. I eat. The fruit is spectacular. The mangoes are out of this world. The soups are really good. I'm actually was surprised by the soups, and really become a big fan of the soups that are here. Yeah, you can avoid kind of the unhealthy stuff, but I think it's a high salt, high sugar diet overall. Yeah, I'm looking 20. Damn, good for you, brother. Yeah, you can move here now, right? LDS, Church of the Latter-day Saints, Mormon. Yes, God bless everyone. Absolutely, brother. See you in a few weeks. Put in a request for a Facebook page. All right, brother. Yeah, absolutely, Mitch. I got you. I'll accept it. I'm accepting pretty much everyone. What I want to do is once I get a little bit more help, I will probably have people go through and clean out profiles that are just kind of a little bit on the shady side. Maybe you've got no activity, you're just a lurker or whatever. So, do try to have a legit profile that you're putting up there. But yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. But yeah, absolutely. I'll get you added here in just a second. Yep, Mormon. Yeah, good group. I mean, whatever. Yeah, best wishes to you. Yes. Great chat session. Really appreciate it. Yes, Johnny. Yeah, check it out. Too much time on my hand. Yeah, I know. I know too much time on his hands. Yep, good guy out of Chicago. Yep, Mitch. Yes. Salamat. Sorry, man. Thanks, Mitch. I do appreciate it, man. Really do. Thank you, brother. There's a Mormon. Yeah, there's Mormons in the Philippines. No, they're all over the world, man. That's part of their mission. The young kids travel all over the world. Really kind of spectacular, actually. They travel all over. They go to the temples. They learn the local language as part of the requirement. Yeah, it's kind of cool in that regard. They're spreading their religion and that kind of deal. So, yes. See you guys. Ayo, Empine. Take care. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Amen. Thanks, Mitch. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.